Welcome to Sunday Night with Old Time Radio. Tonight we begin a little differently with the scary stuff first. We have CBS Radio Mystery Theater, followed by The Whistler. Then we move to lighter fare. We have Milton Berle, Halls of Ivy, a BBC program called Steptoe and Son. The American Sanford and Son was designed after this program. And we close celebrating the new year with the inimitable Guy Lombardo. Let's get started.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. We're about to embark on a dark journey. A journey through the terrifying passages of a distorted mind. Man's mind is filled with dark passages that lead through a labyrinth of horror, from which at times there is no return. Come with me as we probe the darkness for ghostly images. Come to the house of Cain. Here we will search out the secret has kept the old house shrouded in a mantle of fear. Who is Cain, you ask? He appears to be an ordinary man like most of us. But here at the old house, isolated from the 20th century, a strange turbulence swirls around him.
Here, Agatha. I'm here. I told you to stay in the house. You're not needed here.
Where have you been?
In the stone house. Horrible odor in the dungeon. One of the prisoners went mad, set fire to a cell. Ludwig and I dragged him out. We had to calm the others.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know what you do with them. Please. I don't want to know what you do.
Mystery drama, Them, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ralph Goodman and stars Alan Hewitt and Jordan Charney. Our story begins in a small, crowded courtroom. The jury is filing in. They have reached a decision on the charge of manslaughter. The defendant, Charles Schiller, darts a quick, apprehensive look at his frail wife, Karen, who has stood steadfastly by him during his ordeal. He then stands to face the 12 men and women who have been chosen to decide his fate. The murder, if it is to be called that, was accidental. Charles Schiller testified to this. The evidence seemed conclusive. Let's move in a little closer. The foreman of the jury has just risen.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, sir.
How say you? Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Come, Agatha. Once again, a mockery has been made of justice. Let's get out of here.
Yes, Cain.
As with the others, I find this man guilty.
But if a jury found him innocent...
I am not influenced by emotion, as are these incompetents chosen to serve on juries. Remember, Agatha, I have been both lawyer and judge. Who is better qualified to decide a man's guilt or innocence? Come. We must inform Ludwig. That man must pay for his crime, as did the others.
But, Cain...
I said come, Agatha. We have listened to every bit of evidence presented in this trial. A murder has been committed. I have found the defendant guilty on all counts. It is up to us to see to it that justice will be served.
You two, this is last call. Breakfast is served.
We're coming, Mom. Dad's giving me a piggy ride on his back.
Oh, more like a ride around the road. Easy, Jim, you're strangling.
Oh, let's be careful with Daddy now that he's back from that awful courtroom. Home with us again. Well, now you two sit down. We've got toast and boiled eggs and...
Boiled eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Oh.
I'll just take a piece of toast. And anyways, I'm not hungry, okay?
All right, then take a piece of toast. Maybe you'd better take two.
Okay, Dad. I gotta run anyway. I'm supposed to meet the guys at the schoolyard. Toast is perfect for eating and running.
Oh, it's so good to have you home. And to have that nightmare behind us.
No, let's not think about that or talk about it again. All I'm interested in now is having that phone taken out so I can spend a quiet Saturday with my wife. Hello? No, you didn't. Yes, I'd like very much to be included. 12:15? Fine. Where is it to be held? Oh, no, that's not necessary. I have my own car. I can just... Well, all right, if you want to. I'll be ready at noon, yes. Goodbye.
Who was that?
Well, I don't know, really. I neglected to ask. A friend of Warren's, another lawyer. Some of his associates are giving Warren a surprise luncheon today to celebrate his winning my case. I wish I had thought of it.
Well, you did call him to thank him, dear, twice last night.
Oh, I know, but a luncheon, what a wonderful idea.
And they've asked you to come. It's almost the same as if you'd thought of it.
Well, not quite, but I'm glad someone did. It must be a really fancy party. They're sending a limousine for me.
Ooh, how posh.
Look, I know we planned the day together, darling, but after all the work Warren did for me, I'd like very much to come.
Darling, of course you have to go. Where's it to be?
Well, the man didn't say. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. They're sending the car. I'll let the driver worry. I'd better shave.
I thought you just did.
True, but I've never been picked up by a limousine before.
Oh, Charles. Oh, it's good to have you home again.
Agatha, it's almost 12.
Yes, Kane. Oh, please stop pacing. They'll be here. Ludwig has always brought them. He has never failed you.
The transcripts, the murder trials we've judged thus far, where are the transcripts?
Here, Kane, on the desk. There is no need to show the poor man the transcripts. Ludwig will bring him in as he has the others. I know you have told me over and over what we do is right. But in my heart...
Sentimental claptrap. That's what got him off at the trial. One does not judge a case with the heart, but with the mind. Here, look at these transcripts. I've gone over them word by word, and in each case the jury has been wrong, I have been right. The limousine. You are right in one thing, Agatha. Ludwig does what he has to do and does it well. Yes, he's brought us our honored guest. Let them in. I will join you presently. I have work.
Yes, Kane. One moment, Ludwig. I am coming. Good afternoon, young man. I am sorry to have kept you waiting. Take his hat, Ludwig. And if you will please follow me, sir, to the study.
I appreciate your hospitality. My name is Charles Schiller.
Yes, I know. Now, if you will come this way. The halls are rather dark and dreary.
What is this place? I mean, your chauffeur was not very talkative. I still don't know the gentleman's name who sent the car for me.
Oh, it's Mr. Kane. This is his estate.
Kane, I see. Is he a lawyer?
He's a judge.
Ah, Mr. Schiller. I see you've arrived safely. Allow me to welcome you. I'm Matthew Kane.
Oh, how do you do? I must admit, when a luncheon was mentioned, I was expecting...
To be taken to a small restaurant or a banquet room? Oh, no. This is too important a moment to be held in mundane surroundings. You've met my sister, Miss Agatha Kane?
Well, no, not formally. How do you do, ma'am?
If you'll both excuse me...
As I've told you, Agatha, this is Mr. Schiller. He's come to visit with us and have a bite of lunch. Would you do the honors, my dear? Ludwig will help. But give Mr. Schiller and me a chance to get acquainted first.
Yes, Kane. I will go and find Ludwig.
Unfortunately, she's a little addled, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, since you're the first to arrive, may I suggest a little brandy to warm you from the dampness of the weather?
Oh, yes. That'll be fine.
I took the liberty of pouring as you arrived. Your drink is here, on the side table. Oh, I see you're admiring that magnificent old portrait over the mantel. My grandfather, sir. A man who gloried in our judicial system. Spent his life exacting justice. A godly man who believed in the holy words, an eye for an eye.
He has a magnificent face.
Yes. He's been dead for over 50 years now. But his presence is still felt in this house. Well, here's to you, sir.
Thank you.
Sit down, Mr. Schiller. The others will be here shortly. Sit down and tell me about your day in court. You had an able lawyer.
Oh, one of the best. I can't speak highly enough of Warren Douglas.
Clever. Yes, very clever. But then, criminal lawyers must be exceptionally clever. Most of the time, they're paid to defend the guilty. But I meant no inference in your case, just a generalization.
That's all right. I'm not sensitive. I was exonerated.
Yes, I heard. It was a murder case, was it not?
Accidental manslaughter.
Oh, yes. Forgive me. I'm sorry to say I don't follow all the cases I should. This was something about a fight in a barroom, wasn't it?
The Carlton Lounge. Now, I was waiting for my wife. We were to have lunch that afternoon. There was this man, a complete stranger. He was annoying a woman at the bar. I intervened. One word led to another. I hardly remember the struggle that followed, but somehow he fell over backwards against a glass door and shattered it. One of the glass slivers pierced his throat. He died almost instantly.
Oh, how dreadful.
Yes, it was. 1 minute sitting quietly, worrying about how much my wife spent on a shopping spree, and, well, the next.
We are at the mercy of circumstances, are we not, Mr. Schiller? Oh, let me fill your glass again.
I was just wondering about the others. I mean, it's getting rather late.
The judicial system and its failings have become quite a passion with me. Several years ago, my sister and I had occasion to attend a criminal court trial. I'll never forget the sight of the man's face as he stood to receive the jury's verdict. He stood there, quivering with fear, awaiting the foreman's voice to pronounce him guilty. And suddenly, I suppose the strain was too much for him. The poor fellow pitched forward on his face, fell dead where he stood. Dead?
Good Lord.
Yes. Imagine that. And what do you suppose the jury's verdict was? Not guilty. The man lying dead at their feet there. Yeah. Well, retributive justice has a strange way of finding its mark sometimes.
Well, I'd hardly call it justice if they found the man innocent, as you said.
I found him guilty. Well, he was dead at any rate.
You found him guilty?
Yes, Mr. Schiller. We all judge our fellow man. You pick up a newspaper, read of a trial, decide a man's guilt or innocence over your morning coffee or toast. Don't deny it.
Yeah, well, to some extent, I suppose we do.
To some extent? Did you hear that, Agatha? Well, now, there is some reasonableness to you, certainly, if you can admit that. Now then, let me ask you this, Mr. Schiller. Do you think, with all the legions of lawyers, clever lawyers with silver tongues, that certain inequities of justice are sometimes meted out by juries? Do some innocent men hang?
Unquestionably, sir.
Then you would also admit that some of the guilty go free. Is that not so, Mr. Schiller?
I don't feel well. My head. Look, I was hoping the others would be here by now. Do you think we should give Mr. Douglas a call? Perhaps there's been a misunderstanding.
There's been no misunderstanding, Mr. Schiller. Mr. Douglas was never notified. There's no one else coming.
And the misunderstanding was mine. I thought you said there was to be a surprise luncheon for Mr. Douglas to celebrate. Did you put something in my drink?
Yes, Mr. Schiller.
Why? I don't understand. Why did you do it? Oh, Mr. Kane. Oh, please, I can't.
Sleep well, Mr. Schiller. Ludwig and I will attend to everything. Ludwig, come. We have work to do.
Ken!
Here, Agatha. I'm here.
Mr. Schiller. Where is Mr. Schiller?
Justice has been served. It is finished.
Oh, Kane. Your coat. Your new coat. What have you stained it with?
I think it's blood. I was attempting...
Don't tell me. I don't want to know what you do with them. Please, Kane. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Well, there is no doubt that justice in the minds of men can take many forms. Who is to say what is true justice? The charge against the defendant was manslaughter. Well, I guess each man has his own rationalization for justice as he sees it. But just as no man may place himself above the law, so no man may appoint himself the oracle of judgment and truth. It seems, however, that Matthew Kane has done so. I'll return shortly with Act 2. Hours have passed since the disappearance of Charles Schiller. His wife, Karen, has been summoned to headquarters to discuss the incident with the police. The request is rather unusual, considering that over 3,000 cases of missing persons are reported in an average-sized metropolitan city each month. Police files bulge with triplicates of these reports. But the case of Charles Schiller has caught the eye of Detective Sergeant Steiner. Something about this case has activated the trail dog instinct. Steiner is sure he is on to something.
I appreciate your checking into this, Sergeant.
Of course, I don't want to raise your hopes too high, Mrs. Schiller. I mean, around here, lots of times 1 and 1 comes out 3.
Yes, I understand, Sergeant. But how can I help?
Well, as I understand it, according to our records, Mr. Schiller's lawyer was never informed of any testimonial luncheon in his honor or any meeting that day of any kind.
I spoke to Warren, Mr. Douglas, and he knew nothing about it, but I'm sure he told you that, too.
Yes, he did. I have his statement right here. I'm sorry to put you through all this again, Mrs. Schiller, but you see, after your husband's disappearance, the facts related to it were run through our computer. Our statistical department, on a hunch of mine, came through with something rather interesting. Something I'd like to pursue with you, if I may.
Certainly. What is it?
Well, Mrs. Schiller, it seems that the circumstances that surround your husband's disappearance have been repeated 3 other times, all within the last 7 months.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
What I'm trying to say is 3 other men have vanished over the past 7 months. And the one thing these 3 men had in common was they disappeared immediately after having stood trial for murder.
Well, what does that have to do
with...
Wait
a minute. Just a moment. More of a coincidence yet. Each of these men was found not guilty at his trial. Look here. David Swan, charge of first-degree murder 7 months ago, October, not guilty. Man named Bates, manslaughter, not guilty. Collins, manslaughter, not guilty. You see the pattern?
Mm.
Trial, exoneration, disappearance.
Unusual, isn't it?
And you think that my husband's disappearance has something to do with these other men?
For now, let's just say he fits the pattern. You know, I've looked all through his file, this file here, dozens of times. Now, there's just one little piece missing. Did anyone see the man who picked your husband up that day on the limousine?
No. I told the man who took the report. I was out shopping.
Oh, yes, here it is.
And Jimmy was out.
Jimmy?
Well, it's my son. He's 8.
Oh.
He was at the schoolyard playing with his friends. Didn't I mention that?
No. No, there's no mention here of your son.
Oh?
This boy of yours, Jimmy, could he have come home while you were out?
Well, I suppose I never thought to ask. Well, we have a tree house in the backyard. He and his friends often play there.
This tree house, does it face the street?
You mean the front driveway? Yes, but...
Mrs. Schiller, where is your son now?
He's in school. He'll be home at 3. Do you think there's something that Jimmy might know that...
Possible, Mrs. Schiller. You know, all we need is one lead.
Mr. Schiller. Wake up, Mr. Schiller. It's time to rise and shine.
Kane?
Exactly, Mr. Schiller. Kane. Matthew Kane.
Where am I? What is this place?
Your room is high above the ground on the far side of the estate.
Room? This isn't a room. It's a cage.
So it is, Mr. Schiller.
What is this? Barred window, steel door? It's like a prison cell.
It is a prison cell, Mr. Schiller.
But why? Why am I here?
To serve your sentence. I've judged your case and found you guilty.
No.
Well, it's all very well and good to say no, but here you are, aren't you? Here they all are, and here they'll stay until their brains rot and their bodies decay.
They? You mean there are others?
Yes, Mr. Schiller, there are others. Others who have broken God's law and must pay for it. Here, Mr. Schiller, here are your rations for the day.
You can't keep me here, Kane. My wife will go to the police. She's probably notified them already.
Oh, I'm sure she has. I'm sure the others have wives and loved ones who have reported these unfortunate incidents to the police. You have disappeared, sir. Vanished into thin air. It's as simple as that.
Not in this day and age. They'll find me. They have ways.
Give it a year. Collins thought that way once. So did Swan. And the others. Give it time. We'll see. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must take these trays down the corridor. It's getting rather late. I'm due in court in an hour. There's an interesting case I must keep up with. When one is given the responsibility to judge his fellow man, one must be thorough in order to be fair.
Kane! Come back! Kane! Someone will come. They'll find me. They'll find me.
Well, I'm glad you could bring Jimmy to see me, Mrs. Schiller.
When he said that he was in the treehouse and saw his daddy leave in a big black car...
This could be the lead we've been looking for. Now, are you comfortable in that chair, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, you keep looking through this picture book.
I don't understand how a children's book of cartoons...
They're types, Mrs. Schiller. Tall, thin, wiry, heavy, muscular. And the clothes they wear, all geared to pinpoint a suspect. Now, Jimmy, do you see anyone in there who looks like the man you saw from the treehouse?
Not exactly, but he looks something like this one. Only he's wearing kind of a uniform, like a soldier.
Tall, thin, in uniform. Now, let's see. Uniforms. Here we are. Now, Jimmy, was he a soldier like this one?
No.
Or, wait a minute. How about this one?
That's it. And he had a hat on.
Like this one, right?
Yeah, that's the one. But it wasn't black. It was gray, like Bobby's cat.
Now, anything else you noticed about him, Jimmy?
No, sir.
Mrs. Schiller, we've got ourselves a suspect.
Does that mean you can find my daddy?
It means we have a better chance. At least we know one of the men we're looking for is a chauffeur. And we have some idea of what he looks like. Now, excuse me, Mrs. Schiller.
Rodriguez, I want a composite made up of the Schiller case. Get the artist in here. Oh, and I'll need 2 men from homicide. We're going to stake out that courthouse. I want a careful surveillance on limousines that pull up. I'll be going along. I'm bringing Schiller's wife and boy with me. Oh,
You will allow Jimmy to come along, won't you? We'll see that he's kept out of danger.
Of course, Lieutenant.
Oh, I don't mind danger. If I can help find my daddy.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, good morning, Agatha.
Good morning. There was hammering and pounding near my room this morning, Kane.
Yes, we're building a new cell.
A new cell.
There's another court case today. Murder one.
I don't want to hear about it.
You can't shut out the world, Agatha. And please, get that dog of yours off the chair. I've told him over and over.
I'll get him, Kane. You hurt him when you pick him up. He's so tiny.
I hate small things, small minds, small people. Take him out. And come right back. We'll be leaving for the courthouse as soon as Ludwig brings the limousine out front.
Oh, I can't go today. There's a flower show at the Civic Auditorium. Mrs. Eustace is picking me up this afternoon.
You've asked her to come here?
Oh, I won't invite her in. I'll be ready when she arrives. Oh, Kane, when is all this going to stop?
You loved Grandfather, Agatha. You know what he stood for. You know how I've worked and planned and dedicated my life. We won't stop. We'll never stop as long as there's breath left in me. Why do you do this to me? I don't like losing my temper. You know I don't. Ludwig's ready. Since you are going to be home, feed the prisoners.
Prisoners? I don't know where they are.
You know where they are, Agatha. I've seen you sneaking around, watching Ludwig and me go up the narrow stone steps of the gatehouse.
But the keys, I don't know where you keep...
You don't need keys. You'll find the trays in the kitchen. Fill them. Slide one under each cell. I'll expect it to be done when I return.
Yes, Kane.
Well, I must hurry off to the courthouse. When a man's life is at stake, one must be fair.
That's the courthouse, Jimmy. Over there, across the street.
Oh, gee, it's a big place. And there's so many people.
We're just looking for one, Jimmy, the chauffeur, the man who took your daddy away. Do you think you can recognize him from here?
Well, try, Mom.
Good, Jimmy. Now, we'll just sit here in the car and wait. This is a special murder trial. I think our suspect will be here. Now, you understand, Mrs. Schiller, I'm not making any predictions.
We understand, Sergeant.
The way things have been going, this may be our only chance.
Mr. Schiller? Mr. Schiller?
Yes? Yes, who is that?
I brought you some food, Mr. Schiller.
Miss Agatha, what are you doing
Kane
here?
left the house. He asked me to feed the prisoners. I'll just slip your tray under the cell door. There. Can you reach it?
Yes, but...
Good. Then I'll just move on and...
No, wait. Wait, I must talk to you.
No, I can't. I have the others to feed. I left my little dog downstairs. I told him, stay. But he never listens. See, there he comes. Oh, he's so naughty. Chin Chin, I told you not to follow me up here. Kane would be so angry if he knew. Oh, dear. He's crawled under your cell door, Mr. Schiller. He's going after your food. Oh, do grab him quickly, Mr. Schiller, please. That's it. Thank you. I'll take him now.
Oh, no, you can't do that, Miss Agatha.
Oh, what?
Now, we're both prisoners here. Your dog and I.
Both prisoners?
Until you get the keys.
Oh, Mr. Schiller, there's no need to do that. You see, you can just pass Chin Chin through the bars. He's all fluff. He'll pass through easily. Oh, Mr. Schiller, you're hurting him. May I have my little dog, please?
Yes, Miss Agatha.
Thank you.
As soon as you get the keys.
Well, I can't do that. You're Kane's prisoner.
And your dog is my prisoner.
Oh, please, give me my dog. He never did anything to you.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But look around you. Look what your brother did to me and the others. Locked us in these stinking cells to satisfy his insanity.
Mr. Schiller, you must understand. My brother is not insane. The reason he does what he does...
There's no time for that. No, either you get those keys, or I'll snap this little dog's neck.
No, you wouldn't do that.
I swear to you,
No.
I'll kill him this instant
Mr. Schiller.
unless you do as I say.
I don't know anything about the keys.
Find them.
Oh, please, Mr. Schiller, give me my dog.
The keys, Miss Agatha. I'm running out of patience. Get the keys.
Yes, the mind of man is a fragile thing. There is little doubt that Charles Schiller has reached the breaking point. It has been said that desperate men are capable of desperate deeds. Will the frightened Miss Agatha find the courage to release her brother's prisoner in exchange for the life of her dog? I'll return shortly with Act 3. An hour has gone by since the arrival of the police stakeout at the courthouse entrance. Sergeant Steiner has been in constant touch with the unmarked cars he has strategically placed around the building. Sitting with him are Karen and Jimmy, who has been keeping a close watch on various limousines that have come and gone. So far, nothing. Steiner's face is grim. He has little hope to hold out to the anxious wife and child, whose world has been darkened by the strange disappearance of Charles Schiller.
I've just checked with units 2 and 4. They've got the rear entrance under surveillance. No sign of a limousine or chauffeur back there. Well, we're doing what we can, but...
I understand, Sergeant.
Our real hope is Jimmy here. He saw the man before. He's the only one who can make a positive identification. Well, anything new, Jimmy?
He did see someone a little while ago that he thought could be the man. One of the chauffeurs waiting there across the street.
Yeah, you were busy talking on the radio.
Well, you should have cut in. Where? Which one?
Well, he's gone now. No, wait. There he is over there at that big black car.
The limousine?
Yeah, he's helping that big fat man get into the back seat.
Are you sure that's the man you saw from the treehouse?
Well, I wasn't before, but I am now. You see how he bends over kind of stiff when he opens the door?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's how the man bent over when he helped Dad into the car at our house.
Well, that's good enough for me.
The car's starting up. They're going to leave.
Let's hurry up and capture him.
No, Jimmy. We're not going to capture him.
Why not?
We're going to follow him. He's the only link we have to your dad. Control 1. To all stakeout units. Limousine, license number GNC 918. Pulling away from curb in front of courthouse. Suspect at wheel. Heading east on 3rd. Tail him.
He's turning, sir.
Heading for your grid, Unit 4. Pick up as he passes. Units 2 and 5. Follow on parallel course. Move it. 10-4.
Miss Agatha? Miss Agatha!
I'm here, Mr. Schiller. I'm looking for the key.
Well, keep looking. Oh, you shut up. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to get out of this madhouse. Miss Agatha!
Oh, wait. Here they are. I found them. See, I found the keys. They were back there in this small storage room. You can have them. All of them. Oh, just give me my dog.
No, not so fast. Try them in the lock first.
All right. But please, be careful. Chin Chin is so delicate.
The lock, Miss Agatha.
I'm trying, Mr. Schiller. But there are so many. They're all rusty, and most of them are too big. Oh, God.
Try that one. There's no rust on it at all.
It fits.
Hurry.
Now, you're sure it's right for me to do this? My brother will be back any minute.
Damn your brother. Do you want your dog handed to you in one piece, or don't you?
Oh, yes. Now, please, don't hurt him. I'll do just as you say. There. You're free, Mr. Schiller.
Thank the Lord.
Now, release my dog.
Here, take him.
Careful. Don't drop him, Mr. Schiller. Oh, now look what you've done. He's getting away. Chin, you come back here this instant. This very instant.
Forget about him. I've got to get out of here. Which way do I go?
Here, Chin. Good little Chin.
Miss Agatha, wait.
I can't. I'd better find poor Chin right away. Oh, it's so easy to get lost in this endless maze of corridors.
Damn you, Miss Agatha. Come back. Come back.
I don't see the limousine anymore, Lieutenant.
You don't think we lost them?
No, Mrs. Schiller, they're up ahead. Unit 4 is keeping him in sight. Control to Unit 4. Control to Unit 4. I've got him. Suspect turning off onto the old Belmont Road, heading for private driveway. All units, converge on driveway. Do not use sirens. We'll wait for you there. 10-4.
Why are we stopping?
Don't want to get too close.
But we'll lose them. They just turned into the driveway. Can't we follow them?
I'm afraid not, Jimmy. The driveway and that old estate back there is private property.
Private property? But my husband may be there.
We can't go any farther without a warrant.
What's that?
Permission, Jimmy, to search the place. The other car should be along any minute. You flag them down, son. I'll take care of the red tape. Control 1 to Central. Control 1 to Central. Request for search warrant. Private residence. 1143 Belmont Road. Residence name unknown. Try through vehicle registration. License number GNC 918. Repeat. GNC 918.
Agatha, will you please stop blubbering like a child and tell me what's happened?
Well, it was just a few minutes ago, Kane. I'm sure you and Ludwig can find him and bring him back.
Find who? Bring who back?
Mr. Schiller.
Schiller?
Well, he forced me to let him out of his cell.
He what?
Well, you see, he had Chin. He said he would break the poor little dog's neck if I didn't get the keys.
You gave him the keys?
Well, I opened his door, then left them in the lock. I had to go after Chin.
Ludwig, quickly. The cells. I'll get the rifle. You fool, Agatha, you fool.
Oh, sorry, Kane. I know I shouldn't
The
have.
shells, Agatha. Where does Ludwig keep the shotgun shells?
No, Kane. Put away the gun.
Disobedience must be met with force. Justice, Agatha, justice.
Justice. I have seen your prison cells, Kane. Those poor, unfortunate men living like caged animals. You call that justice?
Now, get out of my way. Those men must not escape.
Too late, Kane.
Schiller,
I've already released them.
do you realize what you've done? Those men are half crazed. I suggest we all stay here. It's a lot safer than out there.
I've warned you, brother. Stop before it is too late.
I must stop them. I must.
Oh!
All right, everybody.
The other prisoners are here. Run, Miss Agatha. Run.
Stop. All of you. You're breaking the law. I'll not stand for a breach of justice.
Those noises we heard, Sergeant, I'm sure they're coming from the house.
Sounds like it, Mrs. Schiller. Those were shotgun blasts. There's trouble up ahead. It sounds like it's moving this way. No need to wait for that warrant now. All right, move out, men. That gunfire is coming from the left. Rodriguez, Gordon, cover me. I'm going in. Mrs. Schiller, you'd better wait back here with Jimmy. And keep down, out of range.
We will, Sergeant.
This way. This way, Miss Agatha. Keep running. I can see the road from here.
I'm trying, Mr. Schiller. I don't know what got into my brother. He's never been a violent man.
Oh, he's still out there somewhere, firing wildly at anything that moves.
Oh, those men. Do you think he killed them?
There's no time to think about anything now. Just keep running.
I can't. I just can't go on any farther.
It's all right, Miss Agatha. Look up ahead. Uniformed men. It's the police.
Hold your fire, men. There's someone up ahead. It looks like... Yeah, it is. It's Charles Schiller.
Oh, thank God you found us. We couldn't have gone much further.
You are Charles Schiller?
Oh, yes. And this is Miss Agatha Kane.
Yes.
Her brother Matthew is back there, armed with a shotgun.
Well, you better come with me. You'll both be safer back there on the road.
Get away from that man.
Kane!
He's an escaped prisoner. I'll shoot the first man who touches him.
Careful. He's deranged. He's been holding chained men captive at the house.
Put down that shotgun, Mr. Kane.
I am in charge here. Tell your men to back off.
I'm warning you, sir, for the last time.
Schiller, hands on your head. We're returning to the cell.
It's no use, Kane. It's all over. If you pull that trigger, you'll be murdering an innocent man. I was innocent, Kane. They were all innocent.
That's a lie. I judged you all fairly. I see now I was too lenient with my sentence. Now that you dare defy me, I change my verdict. Your sentence is no longer life. It's death.
Schiller, look out!
Kane. My poor brother. You've shot him.
Sorry, ma'am. I had no choice.
Agatha,
Yes, Kane. I'm here.
I was only trying.
I know, Kane. I tried to warn you to stop before it was too late.
Oh, you're too easy on them.
Okay.
Too quick to forgive. The people, the jurors, they're all like you. Someone has to uphold the rightness of things.
He's gone. Kane. Oh, Kane.
He put me through hell, Sergeant. But you know something? I can't help feeling what he did was partly our fault.
Our fault?
Yes. Crazy as it may sound, there is some logic to his madness.
Well, Matthew Kane is no longer with us. I, for one, am saddened by his untimely death. I was beginning to like him. I always did admire a man who is dedicated to his work. And talking about a man who is dedicated to his work, listen. We hope we didn't frighten you with our story tonight. It's true, Matthew Kane was a psychopath. And he did have quite a successful prison franchise operating on his dark and dismal estate. But fortunately, Sergeant Steiner arrived on the scene in time to stop him from opening branch offices all over the country. So, dear listeners, you all will be safe in your beds until I return. Our cast included Alan Hewitt, Jordan Charney, Augusta Dabney, Evie Juster, and Jim Dukas. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
your signal for the Whistler.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now the Whistler's strange story. The first year.
The story of Lydia Winters falls naturally into two parts, separated by exactly 1 year, almost to the minute. Her marriage to Elliot Larkin ended, of course, on New Year's Eve, somewhere around midnight at a place called Silver Lake Lodge. The circumstances surrounding its ending are a matter of record now in the files of the police department, Homicide Division. The beginning is another story, a personal one. Just a year before, early on New Year's morning, Lydia Winters had stood at the door of her uncle's apartment with Elliot, listening to the whistles ushering in the new year.
Darling.
Huh?
Listen.
It's official now, a brand new year.
Brand new life.
I better go in now, Elliot.
Look, Lydia, let's go together. You can speak your piece and I'll back
I've
you up.
already told you I want to talk to Uncle Philip alone, darling.
Oh, but why waste New Year's Eve? Good Lord, woman, it'll only take a minute to
I
tell
love
the old
you,
boy.
dear, and I'm going to marry you. But you might as well learn right now, when I make up my mind, I mean it.
So Marty tells me.
Poor Marty.
Yeah, poor Marty. Looked like you hit him with a poleaxe when you told him tonight.
He'll get over it. They all do.
I wonder if we will.
Maybe. But it'll be fun while it lasts.
Lydia, why are you marrying me?
Oh, you dance well, you're good looking, you have charm of a sort, and of course...
My money.
Your money. I'm tired of depending on Uncle Philip.
Ah, you're a worldly woman.
But very practical. Kiss me, darling. Good night, Elliot.
I'll pick you up tomorrow at noon.
Mm-hmm.
We can be married in Greenville and run up to Silver Lake Lodge for a couple of weeks, huh?
You're so capable, darling. All figured out for me.
Yeah, except Uncle Philip.
Just leave Uncle Philip to me, dear. Good night.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Well, Uncle Philip.
Oh, it's you.
You old darling, waiting up for me?
There's a very good reason, Lydia. I want to talk to you. Seriously, for once.
Oh, and I know just what it's about. You don't approve of Elliot, do you, dear? You think he's a fortune hunter, irresponsible, unworthy of me. And I'm so hard and thoughtless and gullible.
You through?
Yes.
Good. Then please understand this. If I have any concern about Elliot Larkin, it's on his account and not yours.
Is that so?
Exactly. In the proper hands, he might understand you, grow up into a decent human being. With you, he hasn't a chance.
Now, wait a minute. If you think you can
Well,
tell
let
me...
me finish. That's beside the point anyway. You're just like your mother was, Lydia. The same selfishness, the same abysmal ignorance of the true meaning of marriage. You're not in love with this man. He's not in love with you.
You're pretty sure of yourself, aren't you?
Of course I'm sure. I will not approve your marriage to Elliot Larkin or any other man until you indicate some small understanding of what the word means. Until you're able to look upon it as a sacred contract instead of an adventure.
I see. Now, I'd be grateful if you'd step off the soapbox while I tell you something. I don't care what you think.
Listen to me, Lydia.
I'm through listening to you. I'm of age, Uncle Philip. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm marrying Elliot, whether you approve or not. I don't care about you or your money or anything else. It's my life, and I intend to live it as I please. I'm leaving at noon tomorrow, Uncle Philip, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing I can do about it, eh? Yeah.
Hello?
Ballinger?
Yes?
Phil Ridgely. I hate to get you up, old man.
Oh, not at all. New Year's, you know. We're having a little party.
I want to see you right away, Ballinger, about my will.
Oh. How about tomorrow morning?
I said right away. Now.
Good
Phil. You can't do a thing like this now.
Why not?
Why, it's vicious. If there was any chance for success of Lydia's marriage, it's destroyed by this thing. You can't play with people's lives as if they were puppets.
It's my money, Ballinger. I can do with it what I please. Now get this again. The new will is to provide that if Lydia and Elliot Larkin live together as man and wife under the same roof for a period of 10 years, they are to receive the principal legacy of $500,000 jointly, or half to each other as they may choose. That failing, it goes to the Children's Relief Fund. Got that?
That's clear enough.
Now, if at any time during those 10 years either one of them die by any means, the entire sum is payable to the survivor immediately.
Now, look here, Philip. I realize I'm in no position to question your moral code. But this thing is fiendish. Why, it'll set them at each other's throats.
Perhaps it will, Ballinger. Perhaps it will. It's a sort of a test, you know. If I'm right, if the marriage means nothing to either of them, it will destroy them. On the other hand, if I'm wrong, it will be a real reward.
Yes, but don't you see? It's not a will, Philip. It's a weapon.
Maybe. I know I won't live to see it work out. But you'll see it, Ballinger. You're to acquaint them with the provisions the moment I die. There's a comfortable retainer in there for you to see it's followed to the letter. You know, I envy you, Ballinger. It should prove very interesting.
With Elliot Larkin, when suddenly, impetuously, you decided that here was the answer to Uncle Philip's tyranny, an avenue to freedom. And it's worked out fairly well, hasn't it? It's not a storybook marriage, of course, but you didn't expect that. Still, Elliot is fairly presentable, reasonable, and charming, and you're sure he's wealthy enough to keep you well-dressed and entertained. And until something better comes along, you're content. It was an evening in October that changed all that. The two of you had just arrived home from a football game.
Oh, Johnny Gates. Can you imagine running into him that way?
I felt like a lost sheep with the two of you huddled together all
Well,
afternoon.
I haven't seen him since college. Oh, here, let me take your coat. There. It was a lucky break running into him that way, you know?
Where's the cigarette?
Oh, a minute. Oh, here you are. Catch.
Thanks. What do you mean, lucky break? You didn't pay any attention to the game.
Well, he's leaving his job. He's going to the Orient.
Oh?
Yeah, he represents some cordial outfit, liqueurs, that sort of thing, you know. Well, I mean, that's the job he's leaving. It's a pretty good job.
What's that got to do with you?
He says he'll recommend me to replace him if I want it.
You mean you're going to work?
Well, why not? I can't be a playboy all my life, you know. What?
Elliot. Elliot, darling, what in the world got into your head?
What's so funny, huh?
Hey, the hell with Elliot. You working. Oh.
Yeah, well, you better answer the phone.
Yeah. Excuse me. Hello?
Mrs. Larkin?
Yes?
This is Mr. Ballinger, your uncle's lawyer.
I'm not at home to my uncle, Mr. Ballinger. You can tell him
Just a minute, Mrs. Larkin. I'm calling to tell you that your uncle passed away this afternoon.
I see.
It's my duty as his executor to read to you the terms of his will.
Who is it, honey?
Just a minute, please. Uncle Philip's dead. Something about the will.
Oh, let me talk to him.
I'll handle it. Mr. Ballinger, perhaps you don't quite understand my relationship with Uncle Philip.
Wait a minute.
Elliot.
Give me that phone now.
What do you think you're doing?
Time I knock some sense into your head, Angel. You may as well know it now. We're broke.
We're what?
Oh, as close to it as you can get without selling the furniture. That's why I took Johnny up on the job.
Hello?
You had money, a lot of it just
Never mind that now. You just tell Mr. Ballinger we'll be glad to talk to him. You hear? Go on, take the phone.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Ballinger.
Yes?
We'll be over right away.
How'd it taste, dear?
What?
Humble pie.
I'm not in the mood for that sort of thing, Elliot. Why didn't you tell me you were broke?
You didn't ask. You just went along with what everyone believed about the Larkin
You think that was fair to me?
Well, it works two ways, Angel. After all, I was under the impression your Uncle Philip's worldly goods were practically in your pocket.
I see. Well, I guess I'd better make this clear, Elliot. I don't love you. I never did.
Oh, now take it easy.
And bright and early tomorrow morning, I'm leaving his house, and I'm not coming back.
Really? Well, I'm going to miss you terribly. Where are you going?
Does it matter very much?
No. Not really. Tomorrow's up to you, Lydia. Tonight, on the other hand...
I'll see Mr. Ballinger alone.
We're going together, darling. Somehow I'm just a little curious about your uncle's will.
You mean this thing forces us to love each other?
More or less. That is, if you want the money. You will live together under the same roof for 10 years.
Yes, I heard it the first time, Ballinger. Now, are you sure it'll hold up under probate?
It's quite legal, if that's what you mean.
Naturally. You should know Uncle Philip very well, Elliot. Most efficient man in the world.
Well, that's it. If there are any questions, Lydia?
No, it's all very clear. Oh, come on, Elliot.
Well, then, good night. Good night, Larkin.
Good night.
Amusement, Elliot, or the beginning of hysteria?
A little of each, I suppose. You know, you must admit the old boy had a sense of humor.
Must I?
10 years, 9 to go. Well, I guess there was a time when I'd be willing to do anything for $500,000. Right now, I don't know.
It won't make any real difference, Elliot. I want that money. You live your life, I'll live mine. No questions, no answers.
Except to the watchdog.
Ballinger? Yes, we can handle him.
I suppose it's worth a try. All right, dear. What's the first move?
Your friend, Johnny Gates.
Johnny?
You'll need that job now. You have a wife and home to support. Remember?
At that moment, you're forced to admit something to yourself, aren't you, Lydia? That Uncle Philip was right. That your marriage to Elliot Larkin is a farce. A hollow, mocking thing that was never meant to be. And there's something else, Lydia. The strange will. As the weeks pass, you know it for what it really is. An instrument of torture. A weapon striking back at you from the grave. Yes, Uncle Philip might as well be alive and laughing at you, telling you that you can't win. But through it all, you're determined that somehow, some way, you'll defeat Philip on his own ground. Then on New Year's Eve, the night marking your first year together, Elliot calls you at the apartment.
Yeah?
Lydia, I thought you might be interested. I've got that job.
Johnny?
Yeah, he's giving it up, leaving right away.
Oh, nice. Tonight I can drink champagne that's paid for.
Oh, about that. I won't be able to make dinner until later. I'm helping Johnny celebrate.
Oh, don't worry about that. I meant to tell you we can skip the dinner plan. I'm meeting Marty Bell at the Zebra Club.
Marty Bell, huh? Well, true love never dies. Good old Marty.
Don't tell me you object, darling. I'll see you tomorrow, Elliot.
You'll see me tonight if you insist on going there with Bell. I'll come down to the Zebra Club.
And what? Don't play the jealous husband, Elliot. That's really overdoing it. Goodbye.
Lydia!
Marty, you're very amusing.
But I mean it, Lydia. I love you.
Does anyone really mean that?
I want you to go away with me, Lydia. Leave Elliot.
Please, Marty. Trying to break up the perfectly matched, adoring Larkin.
It isn't breaking anything up, and you know it. You're not fooling me, Lydia.
Stop it, Marty.
You don't care a hang for Elliot.
I said stop it.
Hello.
There's someone coming over to our table, an old friend.
Really? I don't see anyone.
Mr. Ballinger. What an unexpected surprise.
Yes, I dare say.
I'd like you to meet Marty Bell, an old friend of Elliot.
Oh.
Marty, Mr. Ballinger.
Oh, how do you do, Mr.
Marty's
Ballinger?
keeping me company while I wait for Elliot, but he has an appointment. Maybe you'd sit in for a while, Mr. Ballinger.
Glad to, but...
Then Marty won't have to waste any more time.
I'm not wasting time,
It's
Lydia.
all right. You've been a dear, Marty. I'll tell Elliot now. Run along.
Nice to meet you, Bill. Yeah, same here. Goodbye, Lydia.
Bye, Marty, and thanks so much. He's such a dear.
Lydia, I've been intending to bring this up for some time. I've been disturbed about things that I've been hearing.
Things? What things?
About you and Elliot.
Oh?
You know, when there's any sign of trouble between you, you're on dangerous ground.
Why, Mr. Ballinger, I don't know what you're talking about. We're getting along beautifully.
Where is Elliot, Lydia? It's New Year's Eve. You two should be together.
Well, of course we should, but the night's only beginning, Mr. Ballinger. Why, I talked to Elliot only a little while ago. He's going to be here.
Do you mind if I wait?
I know. I'd appreciate it if you would. Wait, there he is now. He just came in. Would you excuse me a minute? I'll tell him where we are. Excuse me?
Well, sure.
Would you let me through, please?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry, lady.
Pardon me, please.
It's okay.
Elliot!
Oh, there you are. Well, Where's Marty? I want to talk to him.
Not here, Elliot. Come over to the table with me.
He ran out, huh?
I sent him away. Ballinger's here.
Ballinger?
Smile, darling. He's looking right at us.
What? Oh.
Would you let us through, please?
Yeah, excuse us.
Thank you.
We're sorry.
Right here, darling. Right here. Well, here he is, Mr. Ballinger, my stray lamb. Dear, you remember Mr. Ballinger?
Hello, Larkin.
Yes, how are you, Ballinger?
Sit down, my boy. I just ordered a round of drinks.
Why, how nice.
If you'll permit me, I'd like to offer a toast on your anniversary. 1 year, isn't it?
That's right.
Ah, one beautiful year.
Yes. Well, we can drink to that, and, of course, to your future. May you remain as happy as you are tonight.
Right now, Lydia, as you lift your glass and touch it to the others, listen to Ballinger's hollow toast. You realize that this can't go on, that 9 more years seem impossible. But it's impossible, too, Lydia, to sacrifice the money, isn't it? The money. The defeat of Uncle Philip on his own ground is uppermost in your mind. All you can think of an hour later as you sit beside Elliot in the car.
I hope Mr. Ballinger doesn't think it odd, our leaving so early.
I explained to him. I have to drive a friend to the airport.
Oh? Johnny Gates?
Yeah, he's flying to Seattle on the midnight plane. What I didn't tell Ballinger is that I'm going, too.
You're what?
Got my ticket, suitcase in the back.
Elliot, you can't do this.
Why not?
Because of what it might mean. Ballinger's suspicious now. What'll he think when he hears you've gone flying off somewhere on our anniversary?
Does that matter?
Of course it matters. He's got the power to cancel everything. You can't do it, Elliot. Wait a few days at least.
I'm sorry. It's my first assignment on the new job. The company expects me to wire them from Seattle in the morning.
Why did you agree to such a thing?
Maybe I've had all I can stand, Lydia.
For $500,000, don't be a fool, Elliot. Look, I'll do anything you say. I'll stay away from Marty. Anything, Elliot, just give me a chance.
Well, another helping, huh?
What?
Same humble pie.
Oh, Elliot, please. Please be reasonable.
Oh, Johnny's expecting me. Lydia, I don't see how I can change things now. I'm supposed to be there.
Oh, there must be a way, Elliot. You'll regret this yourself. I know you will.
Well, I wonder.
What are you thinking?
Maybe Johnny can help us. Come on up with me. We'll talk to him.
Maybe I'm a little dumb tonight, Elliot. Give me another rundown on that, will you?
Well, now, look, Johnny, it's simple. I'd just like an extra day here, that's all. You're flying north anyway. Couldn't you send that wire for me?
To cover you with the company?
That's right. Now, you see, that way Lydia and I can be together on our anniversary, and I'll be up there in a day or two.
Well, I don't suppose there'll be much doing over the holiday anyway.
Oh, not a thing. It's just that I don't want to beg off on my first assignment.
No, that wouldn't be so good. Okay, pal, I'll handle it.
Oh, swell.
Johnny, I appreciate this, too.
Forget it. Elliot's done plenty for me.
Oh, Johnny, there's one more thing. I don't like the idea of turning in my plane ticket. You know, just in case the company should check.
Oh, I don't think they will.
I'd rather not take a chance. Now, look, if it doesn't matter to you, you're leaving the company anyway, couldn't you turn yours back and go in my place all the way through?
Well, if you'll feel safer.
Well, Johnny, I really would.
Okay, let's have it. Say, I'll even check into your hotel for you.
Oh, fine.
We better get going.
Yeah, right away.
Well, I'll finish packing. Be with you in a minute.
Satisfied, Lydia?
Perfectly.
Look, as long as we're going to make it look good to Ballinger, maybe we can go the whole hog.
How do you mean?
Well, after we drop Johnny at the airport, how about driving up to Silver Lake Lodge?
Wonderful.
Remember the first time we were there? A brand new year, a brand new life.
I remember it perfectly, Elliot. I'd love to go. I think it's exactly what Mr. Ballinger would like.
Well, Lydia, for the moment you've won. But the worry of the future is on your mind, driving down to the airport and watching Johnny Gates off on Flight 27. And all the way up to Silver Lake Lodge, you wonder about those 9 long years ahead. It isn't going to be easy, Lydia, but somehow you're determined to make Elliot continue to see it your way. A few miles below the lodge, you ask him to stop at a roadside store.
Sounds like they're having quite a time down in New Orleans.
Yeah?
I just want to get some cigarettes, Elliot. I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Yes, ma'am?
A pack of cigarettes, please.
Take your pick.
Oh, these'll do. Here you are.
Yeah, thanks. A brief announcement, then back to the New Year's round-the-town celebration.
Flight 27 of Peerless Airlines, northbound for Seattle, crashed and burned in an unexplained accident 1 hour ago. All on board were killed.
That news comes suddenly, doesn't it, Lydia? The answer to everything. To Elliot, the money, everything. Yes, Lydia, Elliot was on that plane, even if it was in name only. At this very moment, as he waits for you in the car outside, he's officially dead, certainly unidentifiable. And the words of Uncle Philip's will keep running through your mind.
If at any time either Lydia or Elliot Larkin die, the entire sum is payable immediately to the survivor.
You know how simple it can be now, Lydia. Yes, as you close the door behind you, walk through the bracing mountain air to the car, you realize that here is the opportunity of a lifetime. Freedom from Elliot and all of the $500,000 for yourself. And looking at Elliot relaxed, waiting for you, you know you're going to kill him tonight.
Here has a horn or some other kind of...
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, it's all right.
Just as I went into the store, there was some sort of news flash on the radio. You hear it?
Newsflash? No, some other station, probably.
Yes, I thought so.
Hey, I was enjoying that. New Year's Eve in New Orleans.
Please, I'd like it quiet. We'll be up at the cabin in a few minutes. Right now, I want to think.
Of course you want to think, Lydia, of the loaded target pistol in the gun case at the cabin, of how lonely it is there, of how easy it'll be to dispose of Elliot's body in that wilderness. Less than an hour later, you're at the cabin, ready to put your plan in operation. The pistol is just beneath your hand, stuck between the sofa cushions as you sit before the fire Elliot has built for the occasion. You steady your nerves and...
Elliot,
Just a minute, dear. I'm fixing the drink.
hurry it up, will you?
You're tense now, bracing yourself. You'll wait until he's moved around and is standing right in front of you, holding the drinks on the tray. That way it can't go wrong.
Around this way, darling. Right near the fire.
Yes, the marriage of Lydia Winters Larkin ended in murder on a New Year's Eve at a place called Silver Lake Lodge, where she and her husband Elliot had spent their honeymoon just a year before. There's a complete record now in the files of the Homicide Division. A record of a detective's curiosity over the crash of a northbound airplane and the supposed death of a passenger named Elliot Larkin. Of an investigation that led to a quick arrest and a complete confession. At police headquarters, Mr. Ballinger, the attorney, was remarkably philosophical as the lieutenant read the whole amazing story from a hurriedly prepared transcript of the confession.
I can't say that I'm surprised, Lieutenant. I was afraid from the beginning that Philip's will would lead to something like that.
Yes, the will, of course, gives us a solid motive. Although we already figured we'd find something like that. Oh, there's one more paragraph to the confession. You want to hear it?
Yes, read on, please.
Well, it goes on to say, once I knew that Johnny Gates was on that northbound plane traveling as Elliot Larkin, the way seemed perfectly clear. As soon as we got to the cabin, I got hold of a gun and waited for my opportunity. The first chance I had, I pulled the trigger twice without any warning, and it was all over. And then there's the signature, of course.
The only thing I don't understand, Lieutenant, is how you were able to make the arrest so quickly.
A good hunch on the part of one of the boys. You see, when he found out that Larkin was due up in Seattle on that new job, he flew up there as a matter of routine. Well, after that, of course, the arrest was over. Oh, they're bringing in the prisoner now.
How you ever expect to get by with this, Larkin?
Does that matter now? Johnny Gates traveling in my name, I thought I had a perfect alibi. So I killed him. And until our man walked in on you in Seattle, you still didn't know that your alibi had blown up in that plane. Yeah. Funny thing, too. That night in the car, Lydia asked me if I'd heard a news flash. It must have been about that plane.
I wonder why she didn't tell me.
Make no mistake, of all leading cigarettes, one and only one is recognized by eminent nose and throat specialists as definitely less irritating. That one cigarette is Philip Morris. Johnny presents The Milton Berle Show. Here comes Johnny, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you. If every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris. Yes, they'd all. From Radio City in New York, here is the Milton Berle Show with Bert Kelton, Jack Albertson, Johnny Gibson, Mary Shipp, Billy Sands, Charlie Irving, our singing star Dick Farney, the music of Ray Block and his orchestra, and yours truly, Frank Gallup. Ladies and gentlemen.
Great material.
Tonight we salute the new year. In just 24 hours, we'll all start the new year with a big bang.
That's right.
We now bring you a comedian who starts every Tuesday night with a dull thud. And here he is, Milton Berle.
Thank you and good evening. Gosh, we have an audience. How'd you get here? Dog sled? Much obliged. Boy, Mr. Gallup, how about that blizzard, huh? How about the blizzard? It's going to cost New York $7 million to remove the snow. Well, that's ridiculous. Just bring the bookies back and they'll clean out the city in 20 minutes. You know, Mr. Gallup? Oh, you do? You're Mr. Gallup.
No,
I'm going to be an ad-libbing fool tonight. You know, Mr. Gallup, at the height of that record snowstorm, in the midst of that terrible blizzard, I only thought of one thing. One thing. In a crisis like this, I wanted to be near my mother.
Your mother?
Yeah, she's in Florida. Really, she got her old job back as lifeguard. But there's, for Mr. Gallup, there's also the bright side to this record snowstorm. My brother Frank is working again.
Really?
Yeah.
What does he do?
Oh, he's got a big job. He feels the lumps in the snow and tells you which car is yours. Well, Mr. Gallup, that blizzard was brutal. Only the subways were running. In New York, I had two choices of dying. Freezing or squeezing. Freezing or squeezing. Everything else was still buried in the snow. That joke they had to dig up. How do you like it?
I don't like it.
You don't?
But now, remember.
You can easily be replaced, you know.
He has a conflict.
To the listeners that are listening in, may I explain what the conflict is? That means when a radio performer has another position and cannot make the one that we want him for. You're through. Next act. Mr. Gallup, now please.
All right, now.
The blizzard is over, you know.
Yes, it's all over, and tonight we're discussing the new year.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. How true, Mr. Gallup? I led you into that pretty good, didn't I? Yes. Mr. Gallup, I still haven't made any plans for the New Year's Eve. Do you know anyone who's getting together a party?
Yes, Henry Wallace.
Mr. Gallup, see, you're getting to be a regular park your carcass. That was pretty good.
For this program, yes.
Now watch that, Mr. Gallup. After all, this program is your bread and butter. Excuse me. For you, it's your rye crisp and anchovy paste. What are you doing New Year's Eve?
So, we're having our traditional festival at my club, the Pelham Bay Friends of Yella Pestle.
Yella Pestle?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Festival?
Yes, now it's a beautiful gesture.
Nice gesture.
Lovely. Led by Asha Heifetz, Jose Iturbi, and Arturo Toscanini, they all gather on the poop deck of the Staten Island ferry.
the Staten Island Ferry.
Yes, and just at the stroke of midnight, they welcome the new year with the world's greatest music.
Gee, Heifetz, the Turby, Tuscany, they must be good.
Good. Why, last year they made $8 in tips alone.
All those big musicians playing on a ferry boat? Wait until Petrillo hears about it.
Petrillo?
Yeah.
Who do you think passed around the hat?
Mr. Gallup, that story was positively bewitching. And in a minute, our listeners will be wishing they were listening to a different program. So on with our salute to the new year. But first, let us review the old year as we present the highlights of 1947.
Music. 1947's award to the outstanding figure in the world of music went to a courageous, patient woman who had nothing to do with music. She had to listen to it.
Hats off to Mrs. Harry Truman. Sports highlights. No. I'll tell you when. Sports highlights of 1947.
Baseball.
New York Yankees defeat Brooklyn for the World Series.
Football.
Notre Dame and Michigan voted nation's top teams.
Boxing.
The Lewis Walcott Heavyweight Championship fight.
But it was in the field of radio that the most startling event of 1947 took place. In March 1947, as it must to all comedians who pester a sponsor long enough, a radio program was given to Milton Berle. Two versions of how this unbelievable event took place have been circulated. Here is Milton Berle's version of how he came to have this program. Our scene opens as Berle enters the office of the Philip Morris Company.
Well, gentlemen, here I am.
Oh, Mr. Berle.
I can't believe it. It's Mr. Berle in person.
Good evening, Mr. Phillips. Good evening, Mr. Morris.
Oh, gosh, look at that coat. It's mink.
Yes, mink. Well, it was raining today, you see.
I can't get over it. The great Milton Berle coming to see little old us.
I just happened to be in the building. I'm being fitted for a new money belt. I received your frantic wires. Tell me, what is it?
Mr. Berle, sir, won't you let us sponsor you on the radio?
Radio? Where's my coat?
Mr. Berle, please, wait.
Gentlemen, I'm tired of having to say no to my sponsors, and to all you sponsors, go on the radio. You're asking me to give up my polo with Darryl Zanuck, my yachting with Guy Lombardo, parties with Johnny Myers. For what? Money. Where's my coat?
Mr. Berle!
Money, gentlemen. I have so much money, I knew who Miss Hush was and never even bothered to mention it. Sorry, not interested.
You'll broadcast from a Mother of Pearl studio with rhinestone microphones.
We'll hire Bob Hope, Fibber McGee, and Fred Allen as your stooges.
Gentlemen, I said no.
But radio needs Milton Berle.
Gentlemen.
America needs Milton Berle.
Gentlemen.
Radio is crying for a man with your talent, your magnetic personality, your charm.
Gentlemen.
For the kiddies, you're cute, kindly, generous, beloved.
Gentlemen.
For the men, you're a rugged, unswerving leader. Gentlemen.
For the women, you're romantic, gracious, handsome.
Oh, gentlemen, you're terrible.
Then you'll let us sponsor you.
Oh, all right.
Philip Morris has done it again.
It's awful how I can be talked to anything. Don't go away. You didn't get that. It's awful how I can be talked into anything.
That was Milton Berle's version of how he came to be sponsored. Here is the other version. The truth.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Berle!
Yeah.
I mean, I thought to keep you out of the building.
How did you get in here this time?
I told him I was Johnny's father. Gentlemen, please.
No more handoffs.
I'll beat it, you bum.
Just let me stay for a minute. I just came in here to change the newspapers in my shoes. Please,
get out. We're busy.
We have a half hour of radio time on NBC Tuesday night and no program to put on.
Gosh, well, how about putting me on the air?
You, Berle?
Berle on the air?
Ridiculous, isn't it? Well, goodbye, gentlemen.
Wait. Say, maybe he's right. What can we lose? Let's put him on.
Philip! You're right. We have nothing now.
Morris. Yes, but with Burl, we'll still have nothing.
Philip. For the first year, he'll work for Button.
Morris! After that, we'll give him a zipper.
Philip. What can we do? We're stuck.
Morris. But sponsoring Burl, how do you feel about it?
Philip? I don't know. How about you?
Morris? Oh, let's do it.
Philip. Okay, we'll do it.
Morris. It's a risk.
What can we lose?
Philip Morris. I can't go through with it.
Philip, wait. Morris. Philip Morris cigarettes have been put through every test, and we think we've got the best cigarette in the world, right?
Right.
Let's sponsor Burl and put Philip Morris through the acid test.
You mean?
If people listen to Burl and still buy Philip Morris cigarettes, then we know we've got the best cigarette in the world. Okay, Burl.
You're hired.
Morris Philip.
From New York to California, from Louisiana to Oregon, from city after city all over the country, eminent nose and throat specialists make this report. Listen.
We are convinced Philip Morris is definitely less irritating than any other leading cigarette. That's why in cases of irritation due to smoking, we suggest change to Philip Morris.
Yes, that's professional advice and good advice to every man or woman who smokes. Change to Philip Morris. Because the cigarette that gives you the least irritation is the cigarette that gives you the most enjoyment. And after all, it's pleasure, deep, rich pleasure that counts in smoking. And the full measure of smoking pleasure is yours to enjoy day in, day out in Philip Morris. That's why we say, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette.
There's a great day coming, Banana. Thank you. Very nice. That was A Great Day Coming, Manana, played by Ray Bloch and the Philip Morris Orchestra. And Ray, old pal, I want to tell you something, Ray. I want to tell you something. We've been together for over a whole year. I'm not going to make a speech about what I think of you and your orchestra, but I can just say it in 2 words. No improvement. And now, as we continue our salute to the new year, we present...
New Year Forum tonight. New Year Forum tonight. The question, should you kiss your wife at the stroke of midnight, or should you stay sober?
Thank you, Mr. Gallup. Now, let's have questions from the audience. All right, this young man in the 3rd row wearing the General Myers button. Young man, step up to the microphone and tell me, what is your name?
My name is Oldsmobile.
Oldsmobile?
When I was born, my father was expecting a car.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They delivered me FOB.
FOB?
Full of bromo seltzer.
Full of bromo seltzer?
At the hospital, they forgot to burp me.
All right. Now, Oldsy, you have a question concerning the new year?
I got a lot of questions concerning the new year. So what?
Well, I thought...
What are you, a fortune teller? You can tell what's going to happen?
No, I just
What's that on your shoulders, a head or a crystal ball?
No, look,
Okay, Drew Pearson, get out your tea leaves. I got some questions.
All right, but
Answer this one. Why don't you make it a happy new year and get off the air?
Now, wait a minute,
This one. When are you going to unravel that long, flapping tongue and tell a joke?
Now, look, you
Answer this one. Who's going to listen to you in 1948 besides your mother?
Please.
Your mother's portable.
Please, we must maintain order at our forum. Let us hear now from the ladies. All right, this lady in the red sunsuit and the blue goose pimples. What is your name, madam, please?
Tallulah Feeney. I'm a homemaker.
I see. And you have a question that has to do with the new year.
Yeah, how can I keep my husband sober New Year's Eve? When the old year passes out, so does he.
Your husband likes to drink New Year's Eve?
He's very sentimental. At exactly 12 o'clock, he always drinks champagne out of my shoe.
He drinks champagne out of your shoe?
Yeah, that's why he makes me wear paratrooper's boots.
I see what you mean.
Last year we had a party and he mixed the punch. He sure put a kick in it.
He put a kick in it?
Yeah, he stayed it with his foot.
Mrs. Feeney!
Oh, he put his galoshes on first.
Oh, I didn't know.
What do you think, he's a slob or something?
No. That's different.
He's always dropping into bars. He says he just wants to wet his whistle.
Just wants to wet his whistle?
Yeah, the trouble is he never knows when it's time to blow.
I understand. understand.
Last New Year's Eve, he ran out of liquor. He finally found a full glass.
He did?
Yeah, but that drink ruined him. For months, he couldn't eat a thing.
What was in the glass?
His teeth.
Thank you, Mrs. Peavy. Thank you. And now, as a fitting climax to our form, we bring you a man who has just been selected the Man of the Year. It is an honor to present that rugged Adonis, that perfect specimen of American manhood, Big Mike Featherfield. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Featherfield.
Thank you, Mr. Barrow. This is indeed a golden opportunity for thanking my many fans who have seen my pictures in magazines and have sent me such wonderful letters asking, what is it?
Mr. Featherfield, it's wonderful. Out of the thousands of contestants, you were chosen the Man of the Year.
Yes, and I owe it all to one thing, Mr. Burrow.
What's that?
All the other contestants were women.
I understand that you stand a good chance of also being selected as Life's Magazine's Man of the Year.
How about that?
Were you interviewed for Life?
Yeah.
What happened?
They didn't find any.
Mr. Featherfield, what was your prize-winning achievement that made you the Man of the Year?
Mr. Burrow, I single-handedly removed the most frightening menace facing the men of America.
How did you do it?
I married her.
Oh, your wife. Well, how is your wife? In good health?
Yeah. Discouraging, isn't it?
Mr. Featherfield, you mean your wife mistreats you?
Mr. Burrow, when she beat me up last night, she had a reason.
Mr. Featherfield, you've been bad again. Tell me, what did you do?
Well, last night.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this.
Oh, come on. Tell us, it's New Year's. Tell us what happened.
Well, last night she caught me with the light on in my room after 8:30.
Wait a minute. But 8:30 isn't late.
Well, you don't understand. She'd already blown taps.
Thank you, Mr. Featherfield. Dick Quaney to sing
Happy Holiday, Happy Holiday, while the merry bells keep ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy Holiday, Happy Holiday, may the calendar keep bringing happy holidays to you. Don't let it bother you when things go wrong. If you're glum, just hammer some good luck will come along. Don't let it bother you if now and then you may stumble, never grumble, count from 1 to 10. Frown and smile upside down, so turn that frown upside down and smile and sing. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Don't let it bother you if skies are gray. Learn to grin, take it on the chin, everything will be okay. Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the calendar keep bringing happy holiday to you.
Happy New Year. Dick, take them out. Wonderful. Oh, you're wonderful. As usual. Oh, Dick, that voice. You know, when I was young, I had a beautiful voice, too. I used to sing in the sheet music department at Macy's until they caught me singing in the wrong register. In the wrong register. Happy New Year. I'm kidding. Gosh, Mr. Gallup, you know, I can't wait until tomorrow night. I'm really going to hit the high spots.
Well, an intelligent man stays home New Year's Eve.
I know. I stayed home last year and never again. Did I ever tell you what happened to me last New Year's Eve?
No.
Would you like to hear about it?
No.
Gee, you're getting so nosy lately. Anyway, here's what happened. You want to know what happened?
I'd love to know what happened.
Well, you will do the straight lines on this show. Well, here's what happened. I could say that for another hour. We'd have no program. My wife and I were invited to a New Year's party at our neighbors, the Harrisons. But I decided, Mr. Gallup, just for once, I was going to stay home and just spend a nice, quiet New Year's Eve. And my wife was all dressed up, and I'll never forget it.
Milton, it's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard, staying home New Year's Eve. You're getting as dead as those jokes you tell.
Now, darling, you just run along next door to the Harrisons and try to have a good time without me.
Try? You're kidding.
I'll call you at midnight and wish you a Happy New Year. Good night, darling.
Good night, Speedy.
Nice cozy evening in my easy chair at home. Now I can finally read that book Mr. Gallup gave me for Christmas. Oh, here it is. The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire. Nice of him to remember I like baseball. It's a pretty big book. I bet before I even get to the middle of it, I guess who did it. Let's see. Here's the first page. Preface. Gallup said it was a hard book to read. Oh, no. No, that knock. That's Sam Harrison and his wife, Martha. Come in.
Happy New Year, Milty! And that goes for Martha, too, doesn't it, Martha?
Yes. Hello, Sam. Hello, Martha. Oh, you brought the little daughter of yours over, Susie.
Yes, your wife suggested since you're staying home, we bring her over here.
Sam, please, I'm tired.
Milty, a New Year's Eve party's no place for a little 5-year-old girl. You know the kind of stories I tell once I get going. Hey, Martha.
Okay, come in, Susie.
Now, be a good little girl, Susie, and don't bother your Uncle Milty. Good night, Milty.
Well. Here we are, little Susie. Uncle Milty and little Susie going to spend a nice, quiet New Year's Eve together, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just as Gabby is her old lady. Susie, while Uncle Milty reads, wouldn't you like to go into the kitchen and play house?
Yeah.
Good. Now, go right ahead. Nice kid. Now for the book. Introduction. Gee, it's getting easier. Oh, brother. Susie?
Yes?
Did you knock over the kitchen cabinet?
Yes.
Look, Susie, you better stay here with me. I have it. Would you like to play some gin rummy with Uncle Milty? Penny a point?
Yes.
Here are the cards. You deal. Wait, a card fell under the table. You get it, Susie. That's it. Penny a point. I'll send her home in a barrel. Oh, there you are, Susie. Deal the cards. This is nice. Let's have some music. I'll get up and turn on the radio. Ow! I'm falling! Look out! Oh, my back. Get the lampshade off my head. There. Susie?
Yes?
While you were under the table, did you tie Uncle Milty's shoelaces together?
Yes.
Susie, you wouldn't want Uncle Milty to break his leg, would you?
Yes.
Now listen, kid. No more horsing around. You pick up those cards and play. There. Let's see what I got. What a hand. Get this. I knocked with 2. Oh, you only have 1, haven't you?
Yes.
Susie?
Yeah?
Did you deal off the bottom?
Yes.
I'll deal this time. Come in.
Excuse me, mister. I got stuck in the snow outside. Can I use your phone?
Oh, all right. There it is. It's in the hall.
Thanks. Hello, operator? Get me Denver, Colorado.
Wait a minute. You're calling Denver?
It's my brother's car. I want to tell him what happened.
Hey, do me a favor. Write to him. I'll pay for the stamp. Look. Just call for a tow car.
Okay. Operator, get me Smith's garage.
Now, maybe we can play another hand. Pick up your cards, Susie. I said pick up your cards. Why are you laying them down? Oh. Gin?
Yeah.
I give up. Now go play by yourself. Bang your head against the wall or something.
Say, mister, mind if I wait in here till the tow car comes?
Okay.
Gee, you're swell. I'll call the gang.
The gang?
They're in the car. Hey, gang, come on in.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't call that. Now, wait a minute, please. No drinking. There's a child in the house. Please. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, please. Don't sing. We have a child. Now, please. I don't want that noise. No. Quiet, quiet. There's someone at the door. Maybe the tow truck. Come in.
Who's the owner of the car that's blocking the street?
Now, look. Mister, a tow car's coming any minute.
I don't care what's coming. Who's the owner? Liquor.
Now, wait a minute.
Come on, gang.
No more, please. Quiet. I gotta get out of here. I'm going out and move those cars myself. Where's the door? Oh, gosh, the cars are stored for blocks. They'll be here till the 4th of July. Ooh, it's freezing. I better go in. The door's locked. Hey, open up.
What do you want?
Let me in.
Sorry, the guy that lives here said no more. Beat it. Go.
That does it. I'm calling in through this window here and throwing them all out. Here's the window. Wait till oh, hey, my neck.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, please, let go of my neck. Oh, it's you, officer. You see, officer, I live here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We've been waiting months to get you, second story, Solly.
Officer, you don't understand. I live in the house.
It's midnight. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Sam. Oh, imagine Milton at home missing all this excitement. Well, that's Milton. He said he'd phone.
Hello, dear.
Milton, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Is it nice and quiet there, Milton?
Wonderful, darling. I'm reading that book. I should have it finished by the time I see you.
Finished, but it's such a big book.
I know, but I got 30 days to do it in.
30 days?
I'm in jail. Aren't we, Susie?
Ah!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'll be back in a jiffy. In the meantime...
Here's a wonderful suggestion if you're planning to go to a New Year's party tomorrow night. Take along a holiday carton of Philip Morris for your host. It's a thoughtful gift that's always welcome, always appreciated. For a gift of Philip Morris is a gift of the world's finest tobaccos, mellow and mild and superbly blended. Yes, a gift of perfect smoking pleasure. So make a note to take along a carton of Philip Morris to your New Year's party tomorrow night. Yes, say Happy New Year to your friends with Philip Morris. And remember, when you give Philip Morris, you give America's finest cigarettes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gallup. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Philip Morris and Johnny, may I wish you all a very, very, very happy New Year. And tomorrow night, if you want to make it a happier New Year, drive carefully and make sure most of the alcohol is in your radiator. Happy New Year, everyone.
Look for me. I'll be waiting for you. Come in and...
Yes, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette. And now, goodbye, Johnny. See you next Tuesday, same time, same station. And listen in Sunday night when Johnny presents Philip Morris Night with Horace Heidt over the same network. Until then...
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's it, 5. Pipe smokers, try Revelation Pipe Tobacco, a smooth blend of 5 tobaccos. Yes, relax, take 5, take Revelation, a fine pipe tobacco. The Dozen Barrel Show was written by Nat Highton and Aaron Rubin, and Mr. Frank Gallup saying goodnight for Philip Morris.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, presents The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
If you like good beer, you'll find it pays to be curious and learn about Schlitz for yourself. And now, The Halls of Ivy.
We love the halls of ivy that surround us here today, and we will not forget though we be far, far away.
Welcome again to Ivy. Ivy College, that is, in the town of Ivy, USA. 5 people didn't go to bed at all last night here at Ivy. Grogan, the campus policeman who was making his rounds, 2 sophomores and a freshman who were investigating certain mathematical phenomena, such as the odds against drawing to an inside straight, and Dr. William Todd Hunter Hall, the president of Ivy, who's been working at his desk in the study of his home since shortly after dinner yesterday. The chapel bell is striking 8 as his wife, the former Victoria Cromwell of the London stage, enters and says,
Good morning, Dr. Hall.
Good morning.
And congratulations. You've just set a new record for going without sleep. Any statement for the press, champ?
Yes, I'm glad to bring the cup back to Ivy, where it belongs, and I'm looking forward with great confidence to the international match in Brussels next spring.
Oh, poor darling. How do you feel?
Surprisingly well, if the ability to cope with whimsy on an empty stomach is at all indicative. Do I look awful?
Interesting, rather. One so seldom sees a chartreuse complexion.
Bad as that, eh? Well, it's worth it. One seldom sees an annual report as superb as the one I've just finished writing. Here, have a look.
Let's see. The state of the college.
Or, in the vernacular, out of the red and over the hump with Hall.
You sound enormously set up about it.
I've reason to be. I'd no idea how much I'd accomplished last year until I put it all down in black and white. The endowment fund is up, the building fund is up, enrollments are up.
And what are you doing up? Will you be working very much longer this morning?
I'm ready for bed.
Well, good. Penny will be right in with your overcoat and hat.
My overcoat and hat? Vicky, we've been married long enough for me to make a confession. I never go to bed wearing an overcoat and hat. I'm one of those odd fellows who slips between the sheets wearing only pajamas. I know I should have revealed this before,
stop. I told Penny to bring in our hats and coats because I'm taking you for a walk. A short walk for relaxation, a light breakfast, and then a good long sleep.
Excuse me, Mum.
Yes,
I brought you things. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Penny. I'll take those. Thank you. You're looking well this morning, Penny.
Thank you very kindly, sir. And you're looking... It's a very nice morning for a walk.
You don't say.
Yes, sir. It snowed last night, the first real snow we've had this year, and it's ever so lovely. Makes one want to go out and throw snowballs at top hats.
Well, feel free to do so whenever the spirit moves you, Penny. I'm ready, Victoria. Penny, you didn't by any chance notice a snowman on our front lawn, did you?
Should I have, sir?
Well, after the first really good snowfall of the year, the students have the custom of building a snowman in front of the home of each faculty member. You've heard of that, haven't you?
No, sir.
And the more affection they have for you, the larger the snowman they build.
There ain't one on our lawn. Allow me, sir.
Why, I dare say the snow fell too late for them to have taken advantage of it last night.
Which way should we walk, Toddy? Along Faculty Row?
Yes, that'll do nicely.
Be back in half an hour, Penny. That custom the students have, it's almost cruel in a way.
Not in the least. I admit it must seem so to those members of the faculty for whom very small snowmen are built, but they survive. Professor Heaslip, for example, has survived years of snowmen not much larger than a Drosophila fruit fly.
Professor Heaslip is lucky the students built any token of affection on his lawn. If anything, his personality suggests excavation.
And the report I've just finished makes it more certain than ever he won't get my job. His carefully cultivated friendship with the chairman of the board notwithstanding. It's really a smashing report, Vicky. I raised almost $1 million in endowments, built...
Built what? What's wrong?
Look, there's a snowman in front of Professor Quincannon's house.
Oh.
Well, the snow came early enough after all.
Well, perhaps it wasn't the students, Toddy. Professor Quincannon has 2 children. They may have built it. Children build snowmen, too, you know.
Of course, that must be it. I mean, after all, there's no reason to suppose the students would build one for Quincannon and overlook me, is there? I mean, there's no reason to suppose they're antagonistic to me. I don't see why they should be. Do you?
No, of course they're not. You were telling me about your smashing report. Toddy, come on.
Oh, yes, my, report. I suppose I shouldn't have said it's a smashing report. It's not really smashing, but it's a darn good one. I believe I may say, without immodesty, that I'm good at my job. After all, a college president must have ability and...
Keenness of vision?
Well, all college presidents have keen vision. A few, in fact, can even see themselves in the White House in 1952. You know, I knew a man once who...
I'm listening. What? What are you staring at?
A snowman in Professor Howard's front yard.
Oh, yes. Oh, I suppose Professor Howard's children must have built one, too.
Professor Howard is a bachelor.
Yes, of course, I'd forgotten. Well, then, Professor Quincannon's children must have come over from next door. I remember when I was a child, I used to build snowmen all over the place. Couldn't get enough of them. Fairly cover the landscape and build one in front of my house and one next door and then one further down the street.
Yes, they could have come over from next door, couldn't they? Quincannon's children, I mean.
Well, of course they could.
They could have jumped over the hedge or even come around that way through the gate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much more than 30 paces. And you know, they're very active youngsters, positively hyperthyroid.
Oh, they are.
Oh, one probably said to the other, let's build one now on old Howard's lawn.
Yes, exactly. As a matter of fact, I seem to remember having heard children shouting something like that earlier this morning. But you were telling me about your report. Your report. I want to hear more about how darn good it is.
Oh, I suppose I shouldn't have said it's a darn good report. It's not really. It's a fair report. A little more. Vicky, darling, you spend much more time with the students than I do, really. What with your coaching the junior follies and all. You haven't heard any grumbling about my administration, have you?
None, Toddy, none.
Ah. It wasn't a very tall hedge, you know. Quincannon's children could have jumped over it.
Or crashed through. I mean, they're very sturdy.
Oh, it's the most natural thing in the world.
Yes, Toddy, let's turn down this street. I'm rather tired of Faculty Row. Same old hedges, same old houses. This street seems very charming.
Really? You find that row of garbage pails charming?
Oh, well, I suppose not. Oh, dear. There's a snowman in front of Professor Warren's house, too.
The young Quincannons have had quite a busy morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Dr. Warren.
Morning, Mrs. Hall.
Good
Out for a stroll?
Yes, we're out for a stroll.
Well, I find there's nothing like it on a morning like this for getting rid of the doldrums, don't you?
Occasionally.
We were just admiring the snowman in your front yard. It has a great deal of character.
Oh, it's a pip, isn't it? I know it's not supposed to be good form for a faculty member to pay any attention to this sort of thing, but when you're 70, as I am, hypocrisy is too much of a strain. I just look at that gleaming monster and glow, Doctor. Glow.
Well, I don't blame you. And yet, the custom in some cases can be cruel, don't you think? I mean, the ones that don't get built.
Nope. It's not the custom that's cruel. It's the crushing impact of truth. Some people can't stand up under it at all. You take a president of Ivy we had in 1900, that's before your time. Bessemer was his name. 1 year, every member of the staff had a snowman except Bessemer. Old Pop Gut Bessemer. He resigned a few weeks later, for reasons of health, of course.
Oh, that seems very impulsive of him, a little drastic.
Well, Ivy's a small school and always has been. Personalities play a much bigger part than they do at some of these giant diploma factories. You wouldn't care to continue as president if you knew that students would much rather tie a can to your tail, would you, Doctor?
Well, now, that's an interesting way to put it, but, no, I suppose not.
Why, of course not. You look at it this way, Mrs. Hall. Teaching hardly ever pays off in money. The average prof makes only about $2,500 a year. And it hardly ever pays off in glory. I myself can name 10 baseball players or burlesque queens, bless 'em, for every teacher you can bring to mind. Well, then, what makes an old party like me, the last of the tobacco-chewing professors, or a man like your husband stay with it?
Pride in the job, I suppose.
Pride in the job. That and the feeling that maybe we're helping the young savages become not scholars, but men and women, and that they appreciate it. Take that away and what's left?
Absolute zero.
Here I am lecturing the president. Tell you, when you arrive at my age and succeed in conning people to regard you as a lovable old gaffer, you get away with murder. Care to come in for coffee?
No, thank you. We have breakfast waiting at home.
That's the wisest decision you've made today. In all the world, no one concocts as nauseating a cup of coffee as I do. I'll see you soon, I hope, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Dr. Warren.
He's a pip, isn't he? My snowman.
The very word for it, he's a pip.
Careful, don't slip on that snow.
By the way, Vicky, did I tell you I received a letter from Quesnel University this week?
I don't believe you did, Toddy. Why?
Well, they hadn't heard of the renewal of my contract as president here at Ivy, and they've made me a very flattering offer. Treasurer of the university. At almost the same salary I have here.
Toddy.
Further, and, perhaps of more importance, it's a purely administrative job. I wouldn't come into contact with students at all. Not ever.
Toddy.
They requested the courtesy of a reply this week. It's really a most flattering offer. I rather think I'll accept. Yes, I think it would be best.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
We'll return to the halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman, in just a moment, as soon as we hear how a young actor got his first taste of fame.
Offhand, one would say there's scarcely a rhyme and hardly a reason for associating Shakespeare with Schlitz beer. But perhaps I better start at the beginning of my story. Our little theater group was putting on Romeo and Juliet, and I was this year's Romeo. Being handicapped by 2 left feet and an instinctive dread of high places, I don't mind telling you that climbing that balcony gave me a good deal of trouble in spite of considerable extra practice on my part. After our dress rehearsal, I still wasn't satisfied with my agility, so I decided to make a few practice climbs before calling it a night. As I reached the balcony the second time, I happened to glance down, and there below me I saw the rest of the cast gathered around drinking beer. The labels on the bottles told me it was Schlitz, and the expressions on the faces of my fellow players told me I was missing something. I knew Schlitz by reputation, but not by taste. So I climbed down from the balcony to find out what I was missing. If you could have seen me standing there in full Shakespearean costume, tasting Schlitz for the first time, you might have expected me to say something like, "'Pon my soul, what beer is this that lies so pleasantly upon the tongue?" But no, I just stood there speechless, grinning from ear to ear. The director, sensing my plight, said, "It seems that words can fail even an actor at a time like this. Let me say it for you. No wonder they call Schlitz the beer that made Milwaukee famous."
That surround us here today.
Returning to the halls of Ivy, we find a dispirited Dr. Hall strolling in the snow along Faculty Row with Mrs. Hall.
You're very quiet, Victoria.
I know. I'm concentrating. Trying to think of the right thing to say.
Oh, you don't have to say anything, my dear. The silent eloquence of the students has left very little unsaid.
Toddy, I know how you must feel. In a small way, I've been through it a number of times in the theater. Playing for laughter and applause and getting the rustle of programs and a few coughs. You can say to yourself, chin up and good show and carry on, all that. And over it all, you can hear the lorries backing up to the stage door to haul the scenery away.
Oh, this time they're going to haul the actor away from the scenery. And after I'd convinced myself that I'd given such a sterling performance. Smashing report, indeed.
Would it help if I tried a recital of Kipling's If? It kills them in the provinces.
It's likely to prove lethal here, too. But thank you, my dear, anyway. As organizer and sole member of the William Todhunter Hall fan club, you've done some noble work.
Oh, Toddy, you don't have to try and laugh it off for me. Get it out of your system, darling. Blow up.
Curse the Board of Governors. And their promise that I wouldn't have to spend my time wangling emoluments. Curse my folly in believing them. To the devil with all fat heads who kept me away from the students. Bah!
Oh, that was lovely.
No wonder they feel no affection for me. I'm so seldom with them. Not that to know me is to love me, you understand.
I understand nothing of the sort. I know you very well, and I'm mad about you.
How difficult it is to... Oh, thank you, my dear. How difficult it is to maintain contact with the student body. One college president I know scheduled a speech to the senior class for the sole purpose of proving that he actually did exist.
Oh.
And that's what's wrong with my report.
Toddy, I'm sure it's a superb report.
No, on the contrary, I omitted all reference, beyond a few statistics, to the most important part of any school, the students, and what they think about the state of Ivy. I should have found time to teach more courses. Look at Hutchins at Chicago and Conant at Harvard. The students are what make a college, not campus buildings and installations. Diogenes discoursed from a tub, and his students listened, and it was a school.
Toddy, look, talking of tubs, I see Professor Heaslip.
Where?
Through this hedge. He's just leaving his front door.
Is there a snowman on his lawn?
Yes, a very small one, which he has just made larger with 2 handfuls of snow. Oh, he's heard us and stepped back.
Well, hello there. Good morning, Skipper. Good morning, fair lady.
Good morning.
Good morning, Heaslip. It's a nice snowman you have there.
Yes, it's a very nice little one.
Oh, you should have seen it before the sun came up and melted it. Amazing how quickly it went. This is the warmest part of Faculty Row, you know.
Oh, really? I found the whole area very cold.
Oh, that's a mistake, Skipper. That snowman was inches lower. I mean higher a few minutes ago. It melted down considerably. Also, the boys and girls happened to have chosen a slight dip in the ground on which to build it. Actually much taller than it looks. Optical illusion, you know. Not that I pay any attention to such things, of course.
Of course.
I'm happy the students like me as much as they do.
Of course.
I've often asked myself why. Naturally, I don't court their affection. I'm very strict, but fair pedagogue, if I say so myself. Perhaps it's the occasional humor with which I sprinkle my lectures.
For example?
Oh, well, yesterday, I was discussing nature references in the poetry of the more eminent Victorians, one of whom referred to a dogwood tree in some lyric or other. I asked my students if they knew how to distinguish a dogwood tree, and when they said they didn't, I told them. By its bark. Well, I must be getting to class. Good morning, Skipper.
Good morning, Heaslip.
Good morning, fair lady.
Good morning.
The warmest part of Faculty Row, indeed. Ha! And yet, for the sake of that little snowman, I think I'd almost be willing to change places with Heaslip.
It'd be a little bit rough on me.
What do the boys and girls, as he calls them, see in the man? Oh, it's true he has no enemies, but that's more than balanced for the fact that none of his friends like him.
Well, let's turn back, Toddy.
Oh, this is probably one of the last times we'll ever stroll along here, Victoria. It's an attractive little street, isn't it?
Yes.
I've lived here a long time.
And I've loved it here.
You see that house across the way?
Mm-hmm.
I had a furnished room there when I was an instructor. On the top floor. Kitchen privileges. Female visitors permitted only as far as the front parlor. Please turn out the light before leaving the room.
Liberty Hall, wasn't it?
Then when I was appointed assistant professor, I moved over to this side of the street. Sitting room, bedroom and bath. Hot plate permitted. No wild parties.
Oh, what exactly was a wild party at Ivy in those days?
If I remember correctly, more than 2 people laughing at the same time. But then I allowed my appointment to a full professorship to go to my head, and I rented that Charles Adams mansion over there.
Oh, it wasn't a Charles Adams mansion. It was a wonderful old place to live.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? I mean, after I brought you there. It was fairly empty when I occupied it all by myself. It echoed. Empty and unsatisfying, and nothing I did with it, new furniture, new drapes, fresh paint, seemed to propitiate the fat little gods of the hearth.
Until you offered them me as a human sacrifice, eh?
You might very well have been mistaken for a human sacrifice as I handed you down from the taxi that first morning. You were scared to death.
Yeah, I was. I'd never had a home of my own before. Just hotel rooms and flats and theater dressing rooms.
Now, here we are, driver. And this is for you. Now, this is our home, Victoria.
Oh, William. It's exactly the way I imagined it. All covered with vines and so very peaceful and quiet. And, oh, look! My name's on the letterbox.
I sent a letter from England asking that it can be done.
Professor W. Hall and Mrs. Victoria Cromwell Hall. Oh, thank you, Toddy, for being such a dear love. Is it always as quiet as this?
Yes. Nearly always.
And empty. I don't see any students.
One of them has just seen you. You seem to have arrived in more ways than one. Come on, let's go inside.
Oh, please take my hand. I'm suddenly appalled at how little I know about taking care of a household.
Hang on tight, darling. I have shortcomings, too.
Promise you'll overlook mine until I've learnt my way around.
I promise. It'll be a mutual understanding. Now, what did I do with the key?
Can't you find it?
Well, I could swear I had it in my hand. I thought Oh, I do have it in my hand.
Oh, you're as nervous as I am, really, aren't you? I'm so glad. I keep on forgetting you're new at this, too.
There. No, wait.
What?
Wait. There's a little ceremony involved here, a very nice one. I'll carry you across the threshold. Like this.
Oh, Toddy, look. A snowman.
A snowman? What's a snowman doing in our hallway?
Well, don't you see it? The students must have come while we were out walking.
Yeah, but they've no right to build one inside the house. And where did they get the snow in May?
Oh, Toddy, it's a snowman, and it isn't May, it's February.
Yes, I know, but...
From wherever you were, dear, come back. You have a snowman.
Yeah, but I mean...
and it's the most enormous snowman you've ever seen. Right over there.
Oh! Yes, why, it is a snowman. In our front yard. Vicky, This is our house, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. Oh, Toddy, you're always losing yourself in your thoughts.
Not completely, my darling, because you're always with me. But I don't understand this
Look,
snowman.
there seems to be a note attached to it. Yes, it's addressed to you. Here, what does it say?
Oh, one moment. To President Hall, the delay in construction is entirely your fault. If you must work nights, please do so in one of the back rooms and avoid those overlooking the front of the house. In that way, the traditional anonymity of the They misspelt anonymity. The traditional anonymity of the builders will be preserved. Affectionately, classes of 50 to 53 inclusive. Well, now. Of course, it was Probably a good bit larger when they first put it up. After all, this is the warmest part of Faculty Row, you know.
Yeah, I know. Could you stand a bit of breakfast and some sleep now?
Breakfast by all means, but no sleep as yet. Remember, I have the report to get out.
Another report?
The same one, but better. Far better and a great deal more inclusive. Directly after breakfast, I shall want to see the presidents of every class in my study. Yes, and the officers of all student organizations, too.
All at once in your little study?
Oh, we'll get them in, my dear. We'll get them in. Look at that snowman. It's good packing today.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
And now, here again is Mr. Ronald Coleman.
The campaign to fight heart disease, this country's leading cause of death, is now underway. Diseases of the heart and blood vessels take an annual toll of more than 600,000 men, women, and children. A staggering number indeed. This dreaded menace accounts for 1 death out of every 3. A greater toll of lives than the next 5 causes of death combined. This year, give generously in support of this wonderful cause. Send your contributions to Heart, care of your local post office. Open your heart. Give to fight heart disease. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
We'll be seeing you next week at this time at the Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman. The other players were Alan Reed, Gloria Gordon, and Arthur Q. Bryan. Tonight's script was written by Walter Brown Newman and Don Quinn. Our music was composed and conducted by Henry Russell. The Halls of Ivy was created by Don Quinn and directed by Nat Wolfe. From the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company and the Halls of Ivy, our heartiest congratulations to station WTIC in Hartford, Connecticut on this, their 25th anniversary. Ken Carpenter speaking.
We love the halls of ivy that surround us here today, and we will not forget though we be far, far away.
Next, hear We the People over most of these same NBC stations.
We now present another episode in a radio series based on the world-famous BBC comedy success, Steptoe and Son. With Wilfrid Bramble as Albert.
It's the selfishness that gets me down. They're all like it today, the young ones. We scrape and save and work our fingers to the bone. What do we get in return? Sweet nothing. Sitting there all day, he's been enjoying himself. Never a thought of his old dad.
With Harry H. Corbett as Harold.
Poor old misery guts. Oh, it's pathetic, really. Moaning and groaning round the place like Marley's ghost. Oh, he's more like Scrooge himself, the way he chucks his money about like a man with no hands. If you try and help the ungrateful old twit, what happens? He throws it back at you. Oh, well, I suppose today being what it is, I ought to try and cheer him up.
This week, 65 today.
Hello, Dad. Everything all right?
Is that something for me?
What, where?
In that packing case.
Oh, no, it's only books. They're for me. Yeah, a bit dusty, but some very nice additions to my library. A tenner each, not bad, is it? I'm building up quite an impressive little collection here. George Bernard Shaw, Back to Methuselah. I haven't got that one. Where's my George Bernard Shaw section? Oh, yes. Oh, that is very impressive. I nearly got the complete works now. Paths of Liberty, Jean-Paul Sartre. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Here's a bird here with a bloke's middle name. Jean-Paul Sartre. That's like me being called Harold Gladys Steptoe. Still, these writers, they are a funny lot.
You've forgotten, haven't you?
Forgotten what, Dad?
I never thought my own son would forget.
Forgotten? What have I forgotten? I posted your football pools. I put your $50 into the off-licence Christmas club. I put the horse away. No, I don't think I've forgotten anything.
Don't you know what day it is?
It's Tuesday.
I know it's Tuesday. What's the date?
It's the 25th.
Yeah, the 25th of January.
That's right. Tuesday, the 25th of January. Oh, yes, this is nice, this one. A real Moroccan binding. Gems of Victorian poetry. Oh, yes, very nice.
I've been sitting here all day thinking, he won't forget. He's sure to come home in a minute and he won't forget.
Oh, here's one for you. Lady, please turn over. You can have that one. Oh, look. Alfred Adler. What life should mean to you. Oh, that is a lovely book, that is. I've been looking for one that size. Oh, it'll fit in there nicely. I'll have to start reading these someday. I saw a lovely pair of library steps today. Yeah. I think I'll get them tomorrow. Of course, I'll have to move the books up a bit higher if I get them. Otherwise, it'll look a bit silly, won't it, having library steps when you can reach them? I mean, that's a bit ostentatious, that is. I mean, there is no point in climbing up library steps when having to bend down to get the books, is there?
You think more about your books than you do about me.
Oh? Well, then, what sort of a day have you had, Dad?
Rotten.
Rotten? Why?
Nobody's been in. Nobody cares. Nobody knows what day it is. I've been forgotten.
Oh.
I didn't expect you to forget.
Oh.
Oh, what's the point of talking about it? Nobody's interested when you reach my age. People are only interested when they can get something from you. Well, I ain't got nothing, so that's me finished, I suppose. Your dinner's in the oven. I'm going to bed.
Oh, before you go, Dad, I thought you might like to have this.
What's that?
Happy birthday.
You rotten, lousy twit. You knew all the time.
Of course I do. I just want to see your miserable face. I don't know, I stop laughing putting them books up. I've been forgotten. Nobody wants me. Woe is me. Oh, alas. Oh, alack.
Yes,
Oh, you should have seen yourself. You're sitting there like Cinderella with a face like a squeezed lemon.
Yeah. There ain't nothing to laugh at. Why couldn't you give it to me this morning instead of letting me sit here moping all day?
Oh, go on. Open it. Go on. Oh, there's a card in there as well.
Is there?
Do you like them? Well, you're always moaning about not having proper gloves.
They're not bad.
Well, put them on. I mean, see if they fit. Come on. Up. Put your... Get in. Well, take your own mittens off first. How did they feel?
They're all right. Funny not having your fingers sticking out.
Oh.
A bit tickly.
Ah, well, that is the fur, you see. They are fur-lined. Clench your fist. Go on, move your hands about. See if they're comfortable.
Soft, don't it? Looks just like real leather, don't it?
What do you mean it looks like it is real leather?
Yeah, it's plastic, isn't it?
Plastic? Of course it ain't plastic. Pigskin they are, mate.
Are they really?
Cost me 4 knickerated. Plastic. What do you think I am?
No, they're very nice.
Now, they are not for messing about in the yard. They're for the best they are, for when you goes out.
Oh, yeah. I'll put these away. I'll put these in me cupboard.
Oh, no. I mean, you can wear them a bit now, and on Sundays and that, but just don't wear them for dirty jobs. Not for when you're shoveling out the stables.
No.
They are light tan, you see. They pick up the dirt.
No. I'll look after these all right. I'll keep them for best.
Yes, do that. Shall I put your card up on the mantelpiece?
No, hang on a minute. I like to read the words. Print small, innit?
Hey, let me read it for you.
No, I like to read it for myself. Happy birthday, Father dear, is my wish. Most sincere...
No, is my wish most sincere? Let me read it.
No, go. I want to read myself. Is my wish most sincere? You've stuck to me throughout my life in times of trouble and of strife. And so I wish for you, dear Dad, long life and happiness from your lad, from your loving son, Harold.
Yes. Well... The words is a bit corny, like. I mean, but well, I mean, it's the nearest they had, you know.
Oh, they're lovely words, Harold. Thank you. I'll keep that. I'll put it with me others.
You ain't kept all the others, have you?
Yes, I have. I got them all in me chocolate box, and all your Christmas cards as well, and your mother's, from her to me and from me to her. And I've got all your school reports and your letters to Father Christmas when you was little, all done in crayons. It's the card I was looking for. That's what's important. You needn't to bother about no present.
Oh, no, I didn't have to bother about no present. Look, if you don't want them, take them back. I don't care.
No. They're lovely gloves. Best pair of gloves I've ever had.
Yes, well, you look after them. They'll set you off nice, they will. Tan gloves, your blue suit. Oh, very nice. Well, come on then. You'd better start getting ready.
What for?
I'm taking you out.
Who, me?
You didn't know that, did you? You thought I'd forgotten, didn't you? The gloves is only half your birthday present. The rest is still to come.
Where are we going? Down to the Skinner's Arms?
The Skinner's Arms? You're joking. This is your birthday. We're going uptown. It's all arranged. I've been planning it for weeks.
Now, save your money, son. It ain't half pricey uptown. Suit me just as well to go down to the Skinner's.
Look, I've been saving up. It's all booked up. We're going to start with cocktails at a very fashionable bar. I've got 2 tickets for a show, and we're going to finish up with a dinner at a select restaurant I've chosen.
A show? A dinner? It sounds marvellous.
Yeah, well, it ain't every day you're 65, is it? I mean, besides, I haven't been out for a long time myself, so it'll do us both good. We don't go out together nearly enough.
Yeah, I haven't been up in town since you come out of the army in 46. Remember that night? We went to the windmill.
Yeah.
It was a saucy place, wasn't it? I still got the programme in my shoebox. Lovely birds, weren't they? Are we going to another show like that?
Well, no. I thought we'd have a change.
Well, where are we going then?
I'm not telling you. It's a surprise. Well, go on. Get ready.
Shall I wear my new gloves? I won't lose them.
Yeah, you can wear your gloves and put your best suit on. And a collar and tie. We're not mixing with the hoi polloi tonight. You don't want to let yourself down. You with your new gloves on. Now, you can look nice when you want to. Put your old army tie on.
What? The khaki one?
Well, of course not the khaki one. The dress one.
Can I wear me medals?
What for?
Well, we might get better service in the restaurant. Old soldier and all that. You know, hero, fought for his country.
You leave them off, mate. Where we're going, after waiters you fought against. Go on. You got half an hour.
Right. Are we going to go down them stairs?
Well, that's what stairs is for, isn't it?
Oh, I don't like it in here. It's too posh.
Look,
let's get out.
Nothing to worry about. You look dead sharp in your best suit and your new gloves. Take your cap off, though.
Some of them people have got their evening clothes on.
They are waiters, Dad. Oh, look. There's a couple of stools at the end of the bar.
What? Near that bird with her thighs showing.
Yeah, that's right. Just follow me.
Right, then.
Come on.
Crowded in here, isn't it?
Yeah, mind that drink, mind that drink.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening.
I'll have a pint of bitter.
I'm sorry, sir, we don't serve draft beer.
Don't, sir. Why not?
We just don't. There's no call for it. We do have bottled beer.
I don't like bottled beer. It's too gassy. It bloats me out something terrible.
Yes, all right, Dad. Don't go into details.
Actually, not serving draft beer. They serve it down at the Skinner's Arms.
Look, this isn't a pub, Dad. This is a cocktail lounge. Have something else.
I ain't drinking bottled beer.
Then don't have beer. Have something else. Have a cocktail.
I'm thirsty. I don't want one of them little drinks. I want something with guts in it.
Perhaps the gentleman would like a long drink.
Can't we go somewhere where they serve beer?
No.
Might I suggest a Crimson Sunset, a fruit cup speciality?
Oh, yes. Yes, well, give him a Crimson Sunset then.
And for you, sir?
Oh, me? Oh, I'll have a vodka martini with dry vermouth, a twist of lemon, and crushed ice, unstirred.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know where you get that from. That's what James Bond drinks in them films.
I was drinking these long before them films come out.
Not round in the Skinner's Arms, you wasn't. You was drinking bitter like the rest of us.
Don't keep talking about the Skinner's Arms.
Let's sit at one of them tables. This stool's too high for me.
What's the matter with you? You climb up on a cart easy enough. Now, come on. Put your foot on the bar. Now, on the bar rail, you come on. Get.
Are they safe?
Well, of course they're safe.
I feel like a parrot perched up here.
Oh, it is a nice place, isn't it?
Where's the dartboard?
I don't have dartboards in these places. And keep your voice down.
Your drinks, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
I wonder if the horse is all right.
Oh, yes. I'm sure the groom will look after him, Peter.
And yours, sir.
Ugh. Look at all this muck floating about on the top vine. Hey, where'd I get this from? Covent Garden?
17 and 6, please.
How much?
Dad, please. It's all right.
17 and 6? You got the cheek to charge 17 and 6 for 2 drinks.
A large vodka martini, 10 shillings, and Crimson Sunset, 7 and 6.
7 and 6 for a flaming fruit salad?
Dad, will you be quiet?
You can drink all night down at the Skinner's Arms for 17 and 6. Come on, let's get out of here. They saw us coming.
Dad, don't embarrass me. Now, I'm doing the paying. It's all right.
No, son. Now, you work hard for your money. I don't like to see you giving it away to these sort of people.
That's all right, barman. You can keep the change.
Thank you, sir.
$50? You're putty.
But, Dad, people is looking. You're trying to spoil it, aren't you? Just drink your drink and shut up.
Olives, sir, and crisps, if you'd like them.
You can take them back. We didn't order those.
There's no charge for them, sir.
Oh, well, might as well get some of my money back.
Oh, for God's sake, Dad. Oh, excuse me a minute. I think that young lady wants a light for her cigarette. Oh, allow me, miss. That's a very attractive dress you is wearing, if I may say so. Is it one of them new geometrical dresses PVC?
Every time I go to take a drink, I get a cherry up my nose. Harold. Harold! Now, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, excuse me.
I thought you were supposed to be with me.
I am with you.
I thought it was too good to be true. I wondered how long it'd be before the novelty wore off.
Look, I was only giving the young lady a light.
Sex mad, that's what you
Oh,
are.
God.
Oh, it's all right. Don't mind me. If you wanted to go and pick up birds, you should have said. I could have stayed at home, gone down to the Skinner's Arms.
Not so loud. You can't go round places like this calling birds birds. Look, Dad, if I left you just now, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to offend you. See, tonight, I'm not interested in birds. Tonight, I am with you. It's your birthday, and you're my dad. And we're going to have a good time. Just the two of us, and it's all going to be lovely. All right.
Oh, all right, then. Let's get out of here, though. Dead and alive hole this is.
We'll have to go anywhere. We're going to be late for the show.
I hope it's a bit more cheerful than this place. Richard III. Right lot of old rubbish that was. You don't half pick some places, don't you?
Now, what's wrong with that? Shakespeare, that is. I thought you would have enjoyed it.
Well, I didn't. Couldn't understand what they was talking about half the time.
What about the acting, though?
Not very true to life, was it? This clock, the king, he don't know what he's doing. You ain't seen no king carry on like that. Hobbling about the place, moaning all day. He wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes.
Look, can't you understand? This was hundreds of years ago. There was a lot cruder in them days. You see, it was a continual struggle for power. There was always knocking each other off. This is a historical saga. This is our pageantry, our heritage. You should know something about it. When you know all about American history, don't you? How the West was won, Bonanza, all that rubbish. You know all about that, don't you? Agincourt, Blenheim, nothing. When I bring you out and try to improve your mind, you might at least make an effort to appreciate it.
Why couldn't he have gone somewhere like the windmill used to be?
Don't keep going on about the windmill. This is literature, this is. I must say, I found it quite absorbing.
Don't tell lies. You fell asleep halfway through.
I did not fall asleep. I merely closed my eyes in order to fully appreciate the beauty of the poetry. Oh, when he sat on that throne. Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious by this son of York. Beautiful words. You don't get no one in Shenandoah talking like that, do you?
What's that? A fire?
No, it's the warning bell. The second act is just starting.
You mean there's some more?
Yeah, there's another couple of hours of it yet.
Oh, you've had that. I ain't sitting through another 2 hours of that.
This is turning out to be quite an hysterical evening, this, ain't it? All right, we'll go and eat. You like eating, don't you?
Of course I do.
Well, that's something then. I'd just like to know before we start out. You got your gloves?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Hey, this is. You want to buy a programme half price?
Come on.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I have a table reserved for two. Harold Steptoe.
Ah, yes. One moment, please.
Here. This isn't one of them Chinese restaurants, is it?
Well, of course it is. They don't look like Italians, do they?
Let's get out of here. I'm not eating here.
Oh, God, don't start again. Don't nothing satisfy you.
Oh, I don't like the look of it.
May I take your hats, gentlemen?
Don't creep up on me like that.
Shut up, will you?
Your gloves, sir?
No, I'm hanging on to these. You're not having me gloves.
Oh, as you wish, sir. Please, your table is this way, sir.
Thank you. Excuse me. Would you excuse me, please? Thank you. Mind how you're going. Mind how you're going. Right. All right, Dad. Now, what are you going to eat? Or would you prefer to study the menu?
What's all this, then? What's all them squiggles? Looks like double Dutch.
It's Chinese. The English is on the other page. Oh, for God's sake, use your eyes.
Shark fin soup. Bird's nest soup. Bird's nest? Lion's head? I ain't eating no lion's head. I'm getting out of here.
Sit down. I know what I'm doing. I'll order it. Now shut up. Are you ready, waiter?
Sir?
Special fried rice, the sweet and sour pork, soft spare ribs, lobster chop suey, soft noodles with prawns and a wabi, bamboo shoots and chicken and pineapple.
Chicken and pineapple? Ugh, not for me. I'm not having any of that.
What would you like, sir?
I'll have 2 sausages, streaky bacon, baked beans, 3 eggs, chips, 2 slices of fried bread and a cup of tea.
I don't do English food here, Dad. Will you leave it to me? I'm doing my best. You like it when you see it. I mean, it's delicious. It really is, Dad. Now, let's see. What shall we drink with it?
I don't want another one of them fruit salad things. I ain't had a decent drink all evening.
A white wine, I think.
Ain't they got no bitter?
No.
Well, it's my birthday. I can have a bitter if I want it.
They ain't got none. You can have a sake if you want one.
Oh, I don't care what we have. I'm not going to enjoy it anyway.
Waiter. We have decided. A bottle of Chablis and 2 sakes. The Chablis, 59, I think.
Oh, yes, sir.
Harold?
Now what?
There's a man at the next table who got a bill there made out in Chinese. He can't understand it. They're trying to catch him. Why don't you help him?
Oh, God, please.
Here, my son can check it for you. He's been here before.
I can manage. Thank you very much.
I'm 65 today. I don't look it, do I, Dad? My son's taking me out. It's me birthday present. Here. What do you think of these gloves? Harold bought them for me. He's a good boy. The good gloves. Have a look. That's fur, that is. 4 knicker they cost him.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. You're a lucky old man. Well, I must be going now, if you will excuse me.
He was a nice man, wasn't he?
I wasn't listening. My face was covered with shame. Well, you talk to anybody, don't you? You don't care. As soon as you sit down, you're rabbiting away with complete strangers.
Oh, I only told him about me birthday. Couldn't do anything I can't.
Excuse me, sir.
What's these things?
They are plate warmers to keep the plates warm.
Oh, don't touch them, sir. Very hot.
Are they? Oh, blimey! It went right through me glove.
Serves you right. He said don't touch them. Nosy, that's your trouble. You have to find out. You don't believe anybody, do you? Oh, yes. Here it is. Oh, this is going to be the best meal you ever had.
You'll taste the wine, sir?
Yes, I will.
Is that all you're getting?
Yes, that is very good. Thank you.
Hey, don't I get any? That's more like it.
You don't swallow a glass of rare wine in a single gulp, Dad. And get your nose away from that dish.
Smells funny.
Chopsticks, sir.
Thank you. Here's your chopsticks, Peter.
I don't want them things.
Oh, go on. Please try them. You can at least try them. Oh, the food is very, very good. Oh, it's marvellous. Go on, Dad. Eat.
I don't like it. It's horrible. No, I can't eat that. I knew I wouldn't like it.
Now, listen. If you say one thing more, I shall take these 2 chopsticks and I shall stick them right up your nostrils. You've ruined the evening completely, haven't you? You're determined not to enjoy yourself, weren't you?
Let me go. Look at me try. You joking?
You done it deliberately. Well, there's 1 or 2 things I don't like. I don't like spending fortunes on miserable, moaning, ungrateful old twits. Even if it is their birthday. I ain't gonna do it no more. I've had enough. You can celebrate your birthday on your own in future.
I've done it before. I can do it again.
Good. Waiter, my bill.
Oh, is anything wrong with the food, sir?
No. I just don't like the company I'm eating with. Well, that'll be enough for the bill, waiter. Thank you. Now you, don't you follow me. I'm finished.
Harold, where are you going?
Will you stop following me? I'm on my own now. Look, here's 10 bob. You go and enjoy yourself, and I'll go and enjoy myself. We're all right at work, we just can't get together socially. You can make your own way home. I'm staying up west. I've got to try and find that bird I give a light to. You can expect me when you see me. I mean, it's only 10 to 10. You can get the tube home, go down to the Skinner's Arms, have a booze up with all your mates, do what you like. I'm not interested. You should have done that in the first place. Oh, good night.
Good night.
And look after them gloves!
Gloves. Oh, yeah, yes. Gloves. Good night, Harold.
You've been listening to Wilfred Bramble and Harry H. Corbett as Steptoe and Son, with Ian Burford and David Charlesworth. Written by Ray Galton and Alan Simpson, adapted for radio by Gail Pedrick, and produced by Bobby J.
And tonight we wish you a Happy New Year. A Happy New Year of peace and prosperity.
Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians, direct from the world-famous grill room of the Roosevelt Hotel at 45th Street and Madison Avenue here in New York City. And now, here is Mr. New Year's Eve himself, Guy Lombardo.
Well, thank you, George Bryan, and ladies and gentlemen, it's certainly wonderful having you all here to help celebrate New Year's Eve at the Roosevelt Grill. Now, we're going to start with a great New Year's Eve song of the early 30s, Top Hats, White Tie, and Tails.
Off my tail. I'm nuding up my shirt front, putting in the shirt studs, polishing my nails. I'm stepping out, my dear, to breathe an atmosphere that fairly reeks with class. And I trust that you'll excuse my dust if I step on the gas, for I'll be there, putting down my top hat, mussing up my white side, dancing in my tail. You know, in 1934, a great New Year's Eve tune that everyone danced to right here in the Roosevelt Grill was the Continental.
Now more music of yesterday. The music goes round and round. Another big hit became a big hit overnight. All the Things You Are. Springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know the moment divine when all the things you are mine. We go to 1939. That New Year's Eve, a song that was to become a great Dixie-long song came into being. And here's our arrangement of South Rampart Street on Parade. We're going to do a number now. It was very popular in 1942. Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree. People will say we're in love. Busting out all over. You know, something new has been added to our New Year's Eve party here at the Roosevelt Grill. This year we have three very charming and talented young ladies. They're prep recording stars. I know you're going to enjoy them. And here are the three petticoats. Come, girls.
Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I mow the whole night long. I'll do that cooking, honey. Well, I'll pay that rent. I know I've done you wrong. But that rainy evening, I kicked you out with nothing but a pine to
overcoats. My own brother Carmen here wrote a song in 48 that was the big song that New Year's Eve. Here's Carmen's song, Powder Your Face with Sunshine. Back in 1951, we had a big hit, the Tennessee Waltz. Waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee Waltz when an old friend I happened to see introduced him to my loved one, and while they were waltzing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember the night and the Tennessee Waltz. Now I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee Waltz. With a real New Year's Eve flavor. It started in New Orleans years ago, and of course it's one of my favorites. And here is When the Saints Go Marching In.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in, I want to be among that number. When the Saints go marching in, the saints, when the saints go marching in, I want to be right there among that number. When the saints go marching in.
The magic moment. It is 1958. A new year is born. The globe of light seemed to go out just before it touched the roof. And those letters, 1958, those figures came on slightly before the globe had touched the roof. But it's official. The new year is here. And those numbers are blazing forth on all four sides of the New York Times building. The building here in Times Square. Has died, and the great annual blessed event has happened. A new year has been born. Firecrackers exploding in the crowd now, but they don't care. A very happy scene as well as a tumultuous one. So now it's time for us to say it's Happy New Year in Times Square, and so back to the dance.
Everybody, a very happy new year, especially from all of us, and especially from Clairol, the first name in hair color. We hope you have a wonderfully happy and prosperous 1958.
This is a production of Lobato Studios, Sao Paulo, Brazil.